Yeah, no, it is fine and prominent. That's how my gut floor is doing. Just don't want my gut floor doing this. I want it to thrive.
What is up, everybody? It is another glorious week, another glorious episode of the StopGap Stop Pants Back Tits Participation Awards Bathtub of Crawdads. Anyone but the Haitians join ISIS, Small Knife Ninja, Pump and Dump, A10 Warthog, Overthrow the Bourgeoisie, Blocking My Blockchain, Black Hole Explosion, The Greatest Generation, Senator Congressman Jr., Money in the Dick Stand, Cosby Coffee Date, Peppa Gangsta, Juviata, Shape Gay, Puerto Rican Genie, Goodnight Biscuit, Soybean Momo, Canadian White House Fire, The Loneliest Tooth, Womp Womp, Just Scotch to the Right Youth, Soccer, Cave, Orgy! Sweaty Brazilian leg kicking, hang myself. How are we real? Seize the means of production. Fish versus Centipede radio show. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's August 9th. We got a couple headlines to throw your way. Canada's in a row with Saudi Arabia over women's rights and a couple tweets. Shit's popping off. Saudi Arabia crucified a man in Mecca while aggressively calling out Canada over human rights. School students in Bangladesh are protesting police brutality while dealing with extreme police brutality. What else do we got? Puerto Rican government quietly admits that 1,427 people died in the hurricane last year. Holy shit.
Should have done something earlier.
Holy shit. Donald Trump's son's Trump Tower meeting with Russia was to get Clinton dirt, but totally illegal. Totally legal. Sorry, Freudian slip. It's hard to read this shit. Winnie the Pooh, the Christopher Robin movie, has been banned in China because it's a symbol of political resistance in the country.
Goddamn bear.
Yep. But that's all the headlines we'll get into. There was some depressing shit on there as well. But I don't want to get into it. I'm feeling good. I got a nice glass of scotch in front of me. I'm surrounded by good people. Let's get this show going. What's up, everybody? How was your week? Oh, shit. Real quick. Yeah. We got world famous vape boy, Mr. Tattoos himself, Mr. OhmboyOC. How you doing?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'll see if I can live up to that title that you just gave me. Jesus Christ, bro. World famous?
No pressure.
World famous. Easy.
Yeah, it's a global economy.
Even in South Africa? You think somebody knows me in South Africa?
South Africa has a huge vape scene, dude.
They vape a lot in South Africa.
A huge
They
vape
definitely
scene.
know you.
Definitely know you. We have people in South Africa.
Someone from South Africa asked me today to talk to you about something. They'll talk to you about after the show, actually.
Nice.
To ask you if you want to invest to get a prince back on the throne.
What about North Korea? Do you think a person in North Korea knows of me? Because that'd
be dope.
That would be sick.
Is North Korea part of the world?
They are. They're on the globe.
That's a good point.
They're trying to be, man.
That's a good point.
You see him today? You see that Kim Jong whatever the fuck today in his safari outfit?
Dude, that was epic. Like, it's so awesome when he's not wearing the 14 layers of jacket and
He's
he
got
just
that.
looks cheery. It's
He's
great.
got that.
Get on my ass.
He's got that giant smile, that like I'm not gonna murder you today smile. Like with his giant piano keys for teeth. I love it.
We're skipping genocide today, guys.
Yeah.
Are you
I ain't
sure
gonna-
that's not his? Are you sure that's not his smile that he makes while he's murdering you?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
he
sure
is
that's the
probably
murder.
right.
That looks like a murder smile if I've ever
Oh,
seen it.
today I
Like
feed
he's
you to
like,
dog.
Ah, you dead now. Like that kind of a smile.
I feed you to dog today.
I know for sure that's my
Oh,
bloodletting
right.
smile.
Yeah, it's super racist there, Graham.
No, I said
I mean,
he
that's-
feeds him to dog.
What-
He fed his uncle to a dog. That's a fact. That's not
Well,
racist.
Wow, really turned the
He did.
tables on him there.
I didn't say he
Ooh.
ate dogs. I said his dog ate his uncle.
That one might be a little bit
A
off
whole
color.
different thing. No, it's a
Yeah,
fact.
no,
Yeah, but-
no,
but
it's
you
not
act
what
like
you
the
said.
Listen, you
It's not what
soy
you
boy
said.
momos
It's
need to calm the
no,
fuck
no,
down.
it's not what you said. It's that you said, "Oh, you feed him to the dog." Ooh.
But no, that's his voice, dude. You never heard
No, he
him?
doesn't sound like Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany. Like, knock it off.
Yeah, feed you to a dog, see?
It doesn't matter. You're white. You can't imitate anybody's accent. Like unless they're British, you can't imitate their accent. British,
Or
South African, and Australian. Scandinavian,
Yeah,
German,
countries.
Russian is fine. No, you can't do Asian. You can't
Look,
do
man.
like Swahili.
You 23-year-olds need to shut the fuck up.
No,
I wasn't doing anything except for just talking the way he talks and stating facts.
Hey, don't
Yeah.
feel
That's
bad. That's the way I talk to like all my Chinese distributors and
That's how they understand.
every time I see them, it's just like I just fuck with them continuously. So I do.
yeah.
I go, "Oh, hello. How are you today?" And they're like, "Dude, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, like, yo,
they're like I went to high school in Chicago. You fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Fucker. Oh, so
I got one buddy that looks like a surfer, like a Chinese surfer guy that I continually fuck with about, please do not eat my cat. That's what I tell him every time I see him.
See, but when you're, it's kind of like when you're friends with a black dude, you can like sort of tweak to add a little bit more slang into your voice.
Oh yeah.
What are you
Whereas if you're talking to white people and you do that impression, it's not all right. And I'm looking.
You also got to be good at it too.
I'm looking around.
Make it less racist if you're good at it.
I'm looking around,
Fuck
and
you,
this
that was
call
solid.
is 100% white people.
That was a solid Chinaman accent for sure.
Ah, dude.
You just negated
getting
your entire
into
argument
Chinaman
by
again?
using the term Chinaman.
When did that become wrong? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I'm from
The
a
fucking
different
60s?
time.
I think it went wrong before Oriental went wrong.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Oriental was like Oriental was like the new and improved version of Chinaman. Yeah, the Oriental's the less offensive.
Oriental's a rug.
Now now it's only used for to describe rugs. Before it was used to describe
And that flavor of ramen.
persuasion.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
true.
flavor-
Furniture and food can be referred to as Oriental.
It's a darn good flavor of ramen.
I've never heard one of them say they
It
were
comes
offended.
from the Orient, not. But
Yeah,
people-
so what's wrong with that?
to describe a person is.
What are you supposed to call them? How come it's wrong to call them Oriental if they come from the Orient, but it's okay to call them Asian because they came from Asia?
Because
What the fuck are they talking about?
Oriental.
Is it okay to call you trailer trash just because you live in a trailer?
No.
Call me whatever the fuck you want to call me, Beverly Hills. Calm the fuck down.
No, the reason
Today we have
Jesus.
established that Graham is trailer trash.
the reason Oriental
You might have trailer trash.
the reason that Oriental is offensive is because it's an adjective used to describe a thing, an object. So that
Yeah,
means
where they're from.
You're referring to them as Oriental, which means you're referring to them as an object and not as a person. That's what they
Yeah, but they know what I mean. They know what I mean. I think. That's, by the way, there's some racist fucking people too.
Ooh, there goes
Asians.
all of our Asian subscribers.
None of them.
Just watching the sub count drop.
Yeah. We're
Right? Yeah, it's
we're
just gonna be
losing
done
them this week. We'll get you back. Don't worry. We'll get you back next week.
Oh, love a StopGap. Oh, my favorite.
How's that giveaway coming?
We're actually at
you're-
284, so we're only like 50 away.
That's never gonna happen.
It's gonna be a dusty ass mod by the time someone gets it.
Yeah.
Oh, this mod all dusty.
God damn it, Graham.
Now you see the real reason why Graham keeps himself off camera the entire show.
Hey Graham, you want to turn your gain
Let's
down
see.
just a touch?
Try it out now, Graham.
This is like some 4-dimensional chess because
How
he
about now?
starts fucking with his mic settings.
No,
He's just going off.
Keep going down,
I know,
Graham.
but he's just too loud.
Yeah.
A little bit
Just
more.
the
You're
scotch.
still
People are taking their headphones off.
Yeah.
to show.
Coach.
a scotch more.
How about now?
A scotch more.
How about now?
Keep going.
No. Wait.
Try all the way.
All right.
Nope.
How about now?
Nope.
All right, you're fucking with me now.
No, just
Yeah.
a touch further. Just a touch further.
Shut the fuck up.
No,
I can't believe
seriously.
we fell for that again.
Because you, no.
No,
we're
no,
not-
no.
I'm not kidding. No, just a touch further.
Say it like don't say no. Hey, don't say that to me. Say it like a normal
No,
person.
no.
He said you're you're triggering his ex-wife.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, just like,
"Ah."
I'll divorce you. About to give you all my shit.
We have to get married first.
Oh, well.
Oh,
No,
hold
but-
on. We're gonna lose Mark Grimes as a subscriber if you start talking like that, Alicia. Alicia, you have to stay single. Like that's the only way we keep Mark Grimes.
You imagine you got to stay single so we can keep a subscriber?
He comes for StopGap. He
He-
stays for
Doesn't come at all.
He comes
He
for
wants
an
to send you a
extra
fucking
curvy
flashlight.
office chair. All right.
And a flashlight. I still don't know why he's attached to a drill.
God damn it. Okay, now explain the drill, bro.
Yeah. Does Ohmboy know about your drill, bro?
Yeah.
It's not how I
know
introduce
about it.
myself.
Yeah. Do you know
What
about?
drill?
That is absolutely how you fucking introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Wait,
if you got a
are you
drill,
telling me-
announce it.
He hasn't pitched it.
No, man. What do you
You
think
have
I
a potential investor right there.
Yeah, that's what he wants to talk to him about after the show, probably.
Is
Look,
this
man,
a fleshlight adapter for a drill?
Oh
That's exactly
shit!
what
He
it-
already
that's it.
knows.
You're already there, right?
I think it's already been done, bro.
No, not like this.
Oh,
We're-
my
Keep
God.
saying.
We're
No,
talking.
you-
We're talking oscillating.
Yeah.
What about a sawzall? Wouldn't a sawzall?
Yeah, that's
well,
two. That's the reciprocator.
You'd think so. You'd think so. But bitches don't spin.
That's exactly right. That's the
No.
tagline.
Okay, all right.
No,
You can pitch me later.
Get you at 5,000 RPMs.
Yeah,
And-
what we need is a spinning sawzall that goes back and forth like this.
Yeah, those cost $100 a night, though. You don't need that.
This is a rip it clean off.
No, it's surprisingly safe, dude.
No lube. It's like an Indian arm burn for your dick.
Yeah, Astroglide's an amazing product.
Oh,
It really
man.
is. Just in general, you can vape it. Finger longer, man.
We should have a segment called "What Can You Vape?"
Yeah,
just-
Astroglide for
We
sure.
just get all kinds of substances and have Graham try them on air.
Yeah, it could be like that guy in ECR that vaped lead.
Oh my
that's,
god.
that's not a good
Why
idea.
would you do that?
He
Why would you ever want to
he
do that?
he built a coil with solder.
I feel like that would melt.
Oh man.
It did. Like it
No.
did.
Well, they use solder on coil heads for tanks. I know that a lot of the connections are soldered on there. I guess it just varies on what solder you use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or to, I
Yeah,
mean to use solder as the actual heating element itself instead of
Oh,
just,
Lord.
yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with them?
I wonder if I can find that post. It was
You know,
was a
we
Reddit
talked about it.
post.
We talked about it on ECX, on in the
the
mix.
mix.
I got the link for you right now.
Okay, yeah, send that over
It
to
looks
Dwayne.
just like Canto.
I got the link for you
It's-
right
No, it
now.
doesn't.
Kind of,
Right.
dude, the way it's wrapped.
No, he didn't use solder. He used straight lead. There you go. It's in
Oh,
the
even
Zoom
better.
chat.
God.
Oh, I'm in.
Oh, I got the
I'm
lid
in
from my
Reddit.
country.
Huh.
A
I
guy,
seem to be able to
Make
draw
sure
my
you
name
make
with
sure
my
first.
coil.
a guy for the past 4 weeks has been going through ECR and collecting all of the shit posts.
Oh, really?
The good, the bad, and the ugly, as he calls it.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. Do I need to click the link?
That's kind of horrific.
Yeah, I remember when that got posted. And like everybody was like, this isn't real, right? Like you didn't actually do this, right?
Oh, yeah. I call him a tool fucking head right here, which is pretty accurate.
And then you read his responses, and you're like, nope, he's sincere. He definitely did this. This is the type of person to do this.
I still think he might be the smartest person on ECR. That post is just genius.
I don't know, dude. My dad.
I wasn't being
my juice is
facetious.
pretty
I really
good,
mean
too.
it.
Which is worse, the Juul subreddit or ECR?
Ooh.
I don't know, man.
Because I mean, the Juul subreddit, it's like just burn it with
I
fire.
mean,
Oh,
the
I would
Juul
be- I'm afraid
subreddit
to
has
touch the
plenty of
Juul
them
subreddit.
sexy 16-year-olds.
Dude. The Drill Bro subreddit's fucking incredible.
Shut the fuck up, Graham.
It's just you with 100 alt accounts.
Is that like the Cloudmaker subreddit that there was? They're just waiting for a product that'll never
There'll be
come.
somebody there, and I
Oh.
hold the keys to the rest of the world in my hands. If this gets in the hands of other people, forget it. Nobody's going to be going anywhere. There's going to be no effort put into any kind of real pussy at all.
When
It
you
would have been a lot funnier if you said if this gets on the dick of people.
Bless you.
Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, imagine that. The guy who vaped lead basically has lead poisoning.
That's
Yeah,
a great way to get it to enter your system.
The follow-up post is what made me think this guy is trolling the shit out of everyone, because there is no way that if
He's
he
like,
actually
I'm
did that
dead.
and got that response, he'd make a follow-up post.
Seems like a long way to go for a joke.
yeah.
I like the comments
lung
on it
cancer.
though.
Yeah, comments are great.
You're an idiot and act like a dick. Thanks for making us look bad this entire show.
5% nicotine strength is what Juuls have, so 50 milligrams.
They say that, but it's closer to like 55.
Dude, it's got to be higher. I turned someone away at work, like a friend of mine who vapes. She bought a Juul, and I was like, don't get started. Like, if you want to wean yourself off and you're wanting to quit entirely, Juul's not a cessation device. There's no levels of nicotine for you to wean yourself off of. It's a 1-to-1 replacement.
No, but they are great when I'm around my significant other's family.
I don't trust them. I don't trust them near as far as I can throw them, simply because like the buzz that it gives you and the feeling that it gives you is so different from the rest of nicotine salts that there's no way I can figure out what they're putting in them.
That's
Probably
why-
like-
It's the acid blend that they use to make the salts.
Benzaldehyde?
Say what?
What is it that they use again? Starts with a B.
use glycerol, propylene glycol,
Benzoic acid.
nicotine, and
That's it.
benzoic.
That was like the secret for a long time. Like when the other salts started first started hitting the market, people were wondering what it was. Some people went back and like found the patents. Like I looked through the patents on it when I was doing research to do our salts. But they were the first people coming up with like a multi-acid blend to get the salts for their product.
The buzz it gives me is so similar to a cigarette that I can't imagine they don't have MAOIs in there.
No, they would have to disclose that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
Yeah.
not listed. and
That's
they're
it. Yeah,
the biggest
there's no way
company.
that because that can be you can have a fatal reaction to that in certain circumstances.
Like
So
if your
wait.
steam room.
Like,
So
they're one of the
everybody-
few- Oh, go ahead.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you, but so everybody on this panel has mixed Nick salts, or most of you guys have mixed Nick salts, I'd assume.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
No.
Everybody
so,
but Alicia.
So we're starting to play around with Nick salts, and what is your best advice for somebody that's starting to mix Nick salts
Go big or
that
go home.
has existing flavors? So you're trying to
Ask that man.
convert.
Pretty
You
pretty.
just pointed to your wiener.
Oh, I'm
That's all
sorry.
you pointed to.
Pretty Matthew. It's different. It's a different layout on my screen and on YouTube. Like Pretty Matthew's at the bottom, but he would know the best.
Yeah, him. I was gonna say, for me, it's just go big or go home. Everything's
So just
gotta
put a
be
fuckload in there, right?
Yeah. If you have existing complex profiles, you're gonna have quite a few issues getting any kind of subtlety out of them.
You need to there's so much nicotine that there's just the amount of salt that goes of salt nicotine that goes into it completely changes it. And then the fact that it's being vaped at low power reduced airflow devices, so you can't like you say, you can't pick up all the nuances, because there's a lot of how to building flavors, you run stuff at like a hotter temperature and different notes come out and all that. But when you're using the salt devices now, you're basically just getting like 3.7 or like 9 watts or 14 watts or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I found more Cardo
Yeah.
recipes work better than like Sub-Ohm.
Yeah.
Like,
Powerful
Powerful
flavors like TFA honeydew and Flavora tobaccos, things like that come out really
Drop
Yeah.
sweetener.
No sweetener.
Not
No, I
simple.
think sweetener's fine.
well, just because they
You're
they
really
destroy
sensitive
they
to
destroy
sweetener
the
too, though.
pods.
Yeah.
The
obviously,
pods
yeah.
have such smaller coils that the sweetener affects them like that much more, in my experience.
I mean, it's going to, but I don't think it's as. I don't think it's an immediate concern due to you're not getting that temperature. You're not getting it hot
Right.
enough to
That's-
like start caramelizing it right away.
Yeah.
What's the wattage on those devices?
It varies depending on what it is, but it's usually somewhere between like 8 and 14 watts.
Yeah, it feels like mine's probably about 12, the Soarin' Air.
Yeah,
It's
and the majority of them too, like they have.
They're
some
temp controlled, right? Like a
No,
lot of them.
no, most of them are not. That's one of the other things about the Juul that makes it so special, is because that actually, I don't know how they do it, but that actually is temp control.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but almost everything else, and the like specific temp control pods that have come out so far haven't been that good. Like the Vaporesso Nexus.
Dude, I'm telling you, something's gonna come out. There's gonna be dirt on Juul.
There is. There's already one that's going to come out. Well, it's not going to look like the Juul. It's going to cater more to the hobbyist side, but I seen at ECC the Lost Vape, their new pod system,
Mhm.
which utilizes replay in it,
Yeah.
which is basically, like wattage temp control. And their pod system, I think it's going to be between 60 or $70. The Vaping Bogan got one, and he set it up immediately. And him and I went to town on that thing. And dude, I vape pod systems, but I don't like pod systems. And I fell in love with that. Was the first pod system I've ever used when I went, fuck, I could use this shit every day. Like, it looks dope. It handles dope. You can adjust it. I mean, everything about it was absolutely amazing. And he had some super gnarly salt nick in it to where, I hit it like twice and I was like, oh, fucking, I have to sit down, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you start sweating a little, like it's good.
Dude, Lost Vape is one of my favorite, like, low price, high end companies.
Yeah, they've completely locked in the mid market segment. Like, there's nobody out there that's making products of their quality at that price point.
I want to try them again, but I still don't. I still hate them.
Well, mods, right? Like, there's definitely atomizers that are in that nice sweet spot.
Yeah. I
don't think Lost Vape does atomizers. I don't think they've done one.
Just never buy the Scar. If you're gonna buy a Lost Vape product, never buy a fucking Scar.
What'd you like about the pod system that made it different, made it usable for you? Because I hate them too.
I like the replay on it. I love the replay and wattage on it. To me, like, so being able to like vape it 3 or 4 times and get like a really good hit out of it, and then you click it 3 times and it saves that feature. And so they're kind of, Bogan and everybody was explaining to me, because I wasn't really too keen on the understanding what the replay was. So basically them explaining to me like the replay feature, and even if you overjuice it, regardless of what you do to the coils, it's going to give you that same exact vape. So it's going to immediately read the resistance of the coil, heat it up to the previous temperature, not exceed that temperature, and it's going to prevent you from getting the crackling and the gurgling and all that other shit that goes on when, coils are overheated and there's too much juice. It accounts for all these variables, which I had no idea. Like, that's the way those systems work.
That's
the reason.
That's going to be that sounds like that's going to be the first one that's that advanced.
That's the reason why I love the Sworn Air, because as long as you keep the PG like above or under 40%, like, I haven't had any cracking or popping or gargling issues with this thing, and I've been using it for 4 months, like every day. It's like this to me is like the perfect pod device. Super small, fits in my pocket, and that it doesn't have a button, that it's an inhale activated.
Yeah.
Like, being able to work on my car like I would have if I had a cigarette. being able to mow the lawn, being able to do shit with my hands, and still,
deliver.
So what's the form factor on that Lost Vape one, like size wise?
It's a little boxy, but I would say, I would say it is about the size of that. So give you a comparison. It's probably about the same height as the Rage and width, but it's no wider than probably 1.5 pods. It's probably no wider than just a little wider than my finger. A little wider than your finger.
So like the iCare 2?
I'm not sure. Let me look it up.
The iCare 2 is probably a little bit thinner width.
No, it's
it's substantially thinner. But the thing is they did panels on it. They did I can't think of the name of the panels on it, but it's like almost what's the best way to describe those? Like almost like you'd see like a pearl seashell, but not seashell.
Abalone.
Abalone, yeah, abalone panels, bro.
That's the panels that I got with this, the effusion duo.
Beautiful, absolutely killer finish on the devices. When you see them, you're gonna be like, God damn! But they're a little pricey. I mean, they're gonna hit, I think, between the $60 to $70 mark. But from what I got to use of it for a couple days, oh, dude, it was totally worth it.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. It's filling out a niche that doesn't exist. Really.
Oh yeah, they're gonna kill it because that's gonna cater towards us. You know, the hobbyist side of pod systems where we don't, we get stuck with shitty pods and shitty systems and we can't adjust them the way we like to vape. And I think it really does. It fills a void in the market, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But looks don't mean shit as if it doesn't perform well. And that thing's a beast.
Yeah, that was one of the things that attracted me to Lost Vape when they started releasing products. Their build quality is ridiculous. Like every piece of hardware they put out is, very nicely finished. Great feel. There's nothing like loose, like rattling. Which is impressive. It's impressive when you're only charging $80-$90 for a DNA 75 device.
And it's hard to control the manufacturers at those prices.
And they keep like making it better and better looking. Like the effusion duo was just plain looking, and then their next one was the Therion, the rubber, the leather battery door with the ebony inlay.
Yeah,
fucking that's still one of my favorite looking mods.
Dude, I was pissed when they came out with the Triad because I had the Reload DNA. And it was just like the better version of my mod.
Yeah. Fuck the.
But I bought that when DNA 200 first came out.
So I'm not a fan of any
650.
Any of like Wismec's products. Like respect to Jabo, like the Tobe. I gotta respect him for the Tobe. That was one of the first.
Tobino.
Dude, yeah, Tobino all day.
All day.
But the mods and the shit that he's put out ever since he teamed up with Wismec. Like, it just feels like garbage.
It's been hit or miss, dude.
Dude, I love the Noisy Cricket, too. I'm just going to put it out there. The Noisy Cricket, too, was cool as hell.
The Luxotic is even better than that. The new one is dope.
Oh, the Luxotic NC. Yeah, 2020. It's the 20 and 21 700.
Jerry.
Yeah. Noisy Cricket. Like, sad and acrylic.
Yeah, it's dope. It does the thing that the Noisy Cricket 2 does, where you can go from series to parallel, like with flipping that thing, but you only have to flip a button. You don't even have to take that thing out anymore, Rick.
Jerry, you're super quiet. That's why you're getting cut off.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm gonna crank it all the way up. Is that better?
So,
Okay. No, I was gonna say though, I'm in the minority, but I've never broken a Wismec mod. A little bit lower. Okay, I've never broken a Wismec mod, and I've broken the Lost Vape mod.
Perfect.
I mean, I think that comes down to ownership, luck of the draw. You know what I mean?
It's because I bought the Scar, and don't ever buy a Scar. The Scar was a fucking flawed ass design.
Well, Jerry, that sounds like a player skill issue.
Yeah.
No, dude, you have a 26650 battery. You put one tiny ass grub screw underneath it. So eventually that grub screw completely dethreaded itself, and the battery just started falling out of the mod and pushing everything out.
You abused it.
No, it's seriously. I've only ever broken that in a drag.
Oh, I break
Other
it.
than that, I've never broken a mod.
Way to go,
So,
Wayne.
No, that was a straight design flaw.
Hey, Wayne's not wrong about that Aegis, dude. My screen thing's filling up with liquid too. That's I thought that was Wayne's fault, but it's not.
Yeah, but Wayne has a track record of destroying unbreakable mods.
Yeah, it's true, but it's odd that this one's like that. And I'm not the only one. I've heard of a few people that it's happening to. The screen's filling up with liquid. How is that even possible?
There's some sort of spot for ingress of liquid with the 510 probably.
What mod is that? What mod is that?
The Aegis Legend.
Aegis.
The new Geek Vape Aegis. Oh wow!
It's filling up from the bottom with liquid. Wayne's was like all the way filled almost to the top.
I mean, that's extra disappointing because the whole point of the Aegis was supposed to be like military grade shot.
Right. And I love it otherwise. I mean, it's an awesome mod, but it's just an odd thing where it's getting liquid inside the screen.
Be careful.
Yeah.
No, I'm not messing with it because wetness around that kind of shit.
Well, it's not necessarily the wetness that will make a mod short, the board short. What'll happen is it's actually the nicotine, and over time it causes corrosion, and if it corrodes to a point, it'll short circuit on the mod.
Yeah.
I mean, you could toss water on a board, and the fucking mod's just going to not work. It's not going to corrode the board, but it's actually the nicotine in the e-juice that corrodes.
Yeah. So Graham, just use that one for dabs.
I'm giving it to my girlfriend.
Dab that one out. Give it to your girlfriend if you want to be single soon.
That's definitely what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I gave this girl a Sigelli 150 one time, and within like a day of her having it blew up because I somebody put aluminum foil in the battery things trying to keep them shut. Like trying to make them meet.
Yeah.
You just said "cause I," and then you stopped saying.
I'm not giving in shit. I didn't do anything. You got pictures?
Please no NSA. All right.
Yeah.
Did he also? Did they also put lead in their coil?
No. Well, I wish I would have known about that. I would have known about that.
Dwayne, OG Recoil or Rebel? If you could only have one.
It depends. What are you doing? Are you squonking or are you?
I'm asking for you personally.
Which one do you
I use
grab?
both, bro. I squonk with the OG now because fucking Nick made me promise to use it for squonking for a full day because I was biased because the Rebel's got the Ultim insert, right? Mm-hmm. And the Ultim insert in the Rebel, basically all that does is takes your juice and it shoves it up to the coils and it gets those coils wet and then it sucks it back. So it gives me like a real poppy, satisfying vape, right? Like if I dripped, but the flavor isn't as good as the OG, and so Nick had me switch to the OG. So for squonking now, I'm back to the OG. I'm back to the original one I'll go on record and say that's my favorite for squonking is the OG. You're fucking welcome, Grim Green. You're right. I was wrong.
See, Rick here has like 10 OG recoils.
I only have 3, like unabashed, like fangirl moment, but it's what I use for all my testing. It vapes like perfectly for the way that I want to vape. I haven't really moved on from them.
I fucking love the flavor on these. That was our dot mod killer. That's what Nick and I would say on the down low, off the record, guys.
I feel like dot mod killed themselves. Don't worry.
It's still going to be off the record. No one listening.
No, the OG Recoil with the flavor cap is totally and completely my jam. Like it's just set up exactly how I want to vape. It's been awesome.
Oh, you vape like Nick.
I'm very loyal to that.
Yeah.
If you make a Tiffany blue OG Recoil, he'll have 4.
Fuck.
Guarantee you.
Do you want it bedazzled in any way, or is just Tiffany blue?
All Tiffany blue, everything, man.
Then it really will be the dot mod killer.
What the fuck ever happened to Tiffany blue?
Everything
was
that
Tiffany
was like
blue.
that was like the strangest colorway to become like a thing for the amount of time that it did.
Yeah. I mean, now it's all resin paneled. But what happened to Tiffany blue?
Yeah, but I mean, everything came in that though. It was such a weird color choice.
I got
out of nowhere.
It was a way to fancy up your vape.
I think Flawless started that whole Tiffany blue shit with their tugboat crap, and then next thing you know, it's everywhere.
I unfortunately have a mod called an ohm slice that
Mm-hmm.
is Tiffany blue.
Dude, I had the fucking.
That was such a terrible mod.
I had the ohm wrecker. It was a decent mod. It ran fine, but it felt fucking terrible in your hands.
It was square as can be. That fucker was like as square as a
Sharp
deck of
edges too. They didn't round down the edges at all, and the fucking pattern that they carved into it was sharp as shit. Like they media blasted it and then they engraved it, like deep engraving. My fingers, my fingers, like I'd take a bath and I'd look and you could see all the little micro cuts. Yeah, dude, I gotta
don't just gloss past that,
bro. Yeah. I got a garden. I got a garden tub. I take baths all the fucking time.
Oh, it's a garden tub now.
It's
with
like
your media blasted,
bro.
Tiffany blue
it's like
mods
it's like I'm sitting in a goddamn hot tub in my bathtub.
Hey, sit in a hot tub.
You have a hot tub.
Is it also inflatable?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I do have an inflatable hot tub, but it sprung a hole. I gotta find the hole, so it's out of commission right now.
Did you put it on your lawn?
What did you do?
Always put it on concrete.
When you take a bath.
I could. Ooh,
that's
I'd
the
pay to watch
tagline.
Yeah, always put it on concrete.
I'm into that. Yeah.
I know.
But no,
I got started on Tiffany blue with the Watofo troll in Tiffany blue, and I fell in love with it. So
I got a oil. Yeah. I
couldn't bring myself to buy any of those mods or the atomizers that have
there it is. On them. Oh Lord. Yeah. There it is. Anything You're not lying, are you?
No.
What all do you have in Tiffany blue?
Yeah.
Not nearly enough. Most of my old stuff that was in Tiffany blue like crapped out on me, so I got rid of it. I'm down to literally like no name fucking DNA 200 box and just the Tiffany blue troll.
That looks like the Cloud Maker.
And your hat.
The only one I had that was Tiffany blue was that Sigelli box mod I had, like the first one.
She's the one that blew up on.
No, that one's fine. I wrapped it though in like a galaxy wrap.
The original Fuchai.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that one.
Your eyes are.
I had a buddy who had that mod, and it broke because it was Tiffany blue.
Sure.
So I gave him my black one, and it's still kicking to this day. True story.
Hey, I was checking out like some like Vape Northwest just randomly in their clearance section. They got a bunch of new old stock Watofo stuff. I might order like 6 or 7 like old Tiffany blue atomizers just to have a theme. Give me some freak shows, you know.
Talk about a brand that nosedived.
Avocado,
dude. Fucking Vape Northwest used to be so solid. Then they had that fire, and they were like, "Well, fuck it, let's just sell off the company." And now,
that's called a bust out,
dude. Now it's just such trash.
Yeah, and then the the thing that caused the main uproar was that they weren't going to tell anybody that they got sold. That it was under new management until somebody found out and like brought it up, and then they had to release a statement about it.
Sounds shady.
Dwayne, earlier when we were talking about the lost vape stuff, and we were talking about like the build quality, and you said it's difficult to have like Chinese made stuff adhere to like a higher build quality. Did you have those issues? Like how hard was it like to get the Rage developed and into production?
Fuck me, man. How much time do you got?
I mean, just like a rough, because I know people that have made atomizers have worked with like.
Yeah, atomizers are a different game. Yeah. Atomizers, dude, I could do 100 atomizers in the time it took me to do one mod. The problem that I have with China is there's a huge cultural difference, right? And so when I say something, I mean it, and I'm going to do it. Talking to China, I would relate to product development, and talking to China, I would relate to building a mod with a 6-year-old, right? You're going to have to repeat yourself 10 to 20 times, and chances are they're going to lie to you. And that is what it's like dealing with China.
As someone who has dealt with China and produced a mod, what is your take on the Tony B situation?
Yeah, the Vandy Vape Pulse.
The Pulse 80 watt?
They lie.
And the gene chip? Are you talking about the gene
Yeah,
chip?
where he promised everybody the gene chip, and then it turns out that like they'd been lying to him the whole time, and like he made it seem like it was just extremely shady, but he never got a contract for it, and he made it seem like they were obligated to give him the gene chip.
Let's see what he says.
Well, here's the thing with those two companies, right? And it's in China. Their egos are absolutely fucking huge. These companies have the biggest fucking egos I have ever seen. And so what you have is two companies that think they have huge, big swinging dicks, right? And I think Tony got played, and I think Tony got stuck in the middle of it. And I think there's definitely more to the story than I even know. But I think Tony was a pawn in all this. And I think both companies were equally wrong in the situation. Do I believe that they were going to use that chip? Yeah, absolutely. I got one of the mods sitting right there behind me that with the gene chip in it. And dude, it was ready to go for manufacturing. I mean, it's stamped, molds, everything in that thing's perfect. That's ready to go for production. So I have one, so I know I can attest like Vandy was going to use this in production, but I think there's something else going on behind the scenes, and I think it has to do with the company's egos.
Yep. Do you think it's possible that they were in on it together, and they just like they released the drag, they put Vandy Vape puts a bunch of shit out, they see which one does better in that year leading up to it, and then they go with whatever, you know what I mean? Like they could have been in on it together.
The companies, not
yeah, the two companies could have been the same company even, you know what I mean, or somehow related.
What you're talking about, Vupu and
Vandy Vape and Vupu, yeah.
I don't see them being related in that sense or that aspect, because God, that was horrible for Vupu. I don't think anyone would want to run that risk, not even for the amount of attention that they got.
Right.
I know there's people that think, like there's no such thing as bad attention,
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was really, really bad. And I don't think anybody I don't even think Tony knows what really happened. Yeah. I don't even think he knows what went on, but I do think it had to do with egos. And I think that, Vandy, might have somehow threatened with Tofo or not with Tofo, but Vupu. So the egos had to come in play for them to pull the chip from him. But like Tony hyped it up like that's the best damn chip in the world, and it's not even that great of a fucking chip. Like I just told him that this weekend at ECC. I was like, I don't know why you guys jock that chip so fucking hard. Like,
well, at the time it came out, it was pretty, for the price.
It was the new hot mod from a new company.
Probably because they just got done using a VGod mod. That's
yeah, you can only go up from there. But yeah, so I think Tony got played, dude. Honestly, I think
that makes it so much cooler though. It's like a Chinese power move. I just picture some Chinese Hans Gruber guy in a suit.
Okay, you know, like, oh, we got you, Tony.
Did you guys watch the interview with Jay Hayes? And did you guys watch that interview?
I can't watch any of Jay Hayes' stuff because it's like 2 hours with like 40 minutes of content.
Yeah. Well, I tuned in when he interviewed the guy from Vupu.
Yeah.
And
the white guy, right? It wasn't even like a Chinese guy.
They put a token white guy up front and said,
"Here, so disappointed.
You have no answers, but go talk to this guy. You have no information, but go ahead." Nothing. It was a waste of my time. It was
totally
the dumbest interview ever.
That's great.
Yeah, he just went, well, I really can't comment on.
I'm going to just interview myself instead.
All right. Yeah. While we're talking drama, while we're talking beef, what's your big beef with the vape industry, in the vape industry? What fucking drives you up a goddamn wall that nobody seems to worry about?
In the industry right now?
In the industry now, in the industry past?
I really, fuck, man. That's a great question. I don't know. I stay fucking drama free as much as possible in the industry. Fucking my biggest gripe is the amount of people that do advocacy, probably. I think that's the one thing that bugs the fuck out of me the most is we have so many fucking companies making so much money off this industry, and they don't give a fuck, dude. It's a cash grab, you know, for these guys.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Now, how do you feel about like the split advocacy that vaping has presented? The whole there's the CASA, the VTC, the VCA.
That's my biggest issue with the industry is that we can't even come together as like a unified front to be able to make moves. Everybody's jockeying for position.
Yeah,
it always happens.
Yeah, which is if we could actually get together, like we could, like if we could get the entire industry on the same page working together, we would probably be able to have much better lobbying than we do right now.
I feel like that's the stem of the problem, that people don't really the issue that a lot of people don't get involved in advocacy and don't really worry about it is because, like, who do you go with? Like,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, I agree 500%. It's so confusing.
There's the petty middle school bullshit between these advocacy groups. It's become its own sort of cash grab where, like, they're just trying to be better than the other advocacy group.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I agree.
They think they're the ones that know how to do it. They think they're going to do it the best, so they want to go with them.
Their way is right. Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is there's so many of them. It's super confusing to know like where you're donating and where your money is going to go to. You know, I've seen groups, advocacy groups that I've donated to personally. You know, and their funds were questioned multiple times, and they were never able to provide any proof that the money was going where they said it was going. And I'm watching the people, you know, fly fucking first class and go event to event, you know, and they ain't doing dick at these events. They maybe give a speech at the event at the most. And I'm thinking, well, fuck, man, that, you know, that cost us, what did that cost us? $4,000 to have you come out
and do nothing.
Now,
to do nothing at the event, or where could have that $4,000 been better spent? You know.
Now, how about the fundraiser, the GoFundMe, that was like save vaping or whatever? They wanted
the money we needed for the lawsuit. The money that we needed for that lawsuit. Yeah.
I feel like that was a publicity grab. It was a way for a bunch of. It's great that they raised the money for it, but we shouldn't have needed a fucking GoFundMe to get companies like Naked or Keep It. I don't even know if Keep It 100 was on it, but these huge national brand companies to donate $5,000 to fund, like these companies that are putting up profits. Like, we know how much it costs to make e-juice.
That's the problem.
Like the company who brought a Lambo to the event.
Money makes
just
people
rubbing it in everyone's faces. What a great idea. By the way, is CASA someone good to donate to? Because I'm doing a one shot with Don, and we're doing like all the proceeds go to advocacy, and I just wanted to choose the right org.
CASA is a great place to donate. CASA, Grim Green supports them. See, I have like this blind faith in Grim because he talks to all those guys on a regular basis. I don't. Right. And he donates to CASA, so I would say yes. That would be the one and only place that I would donate to.
Okay.
They should all have to donate to a common fund if they're going to use that as a.
Yeah, but we can't all get on the same page.
But that whole fund the lawsuit thing, it just felt like an attention grab. It felt like a way for companies to look better in the light of the community instead of actually attempting to get something done.
Hey, you know what? If nothing else, one great thing came out of it, which is that that Candy Kings finally did something to contribute to the industry instead of just pushing their bullshit products.
Instead of damaging the fuck out of the industry like they have been for the past 3 years. That's my thing in the vaping industry.
E-juices are the best.
That is absolutely my. That's the thing that drives me up the wall about this industry is like. No, we didn't self-regulate when people were putting children's toys with e-juice.
Yeah. And that's the thing. For years, for years and years, we've been running around. The industry's been saying, we can self-regulate. We don't need the government to make rules for us. We can police ourselves. We can make sure everything's fine. And then we didn't at all. You know what I mean? And that's how we ended up with Candy Kings and with all the other, you know, the juice box brand and all the stuff that the FDA had to send warning labels out after. Like that's the stuff we should have been self-regulating.
We said, wow, it's 120 mils for 10 milliliters of sweetener and 110 milliliters of VG.
You know what's ironic though? Hate to break you off though, is Dripmore Candy King donated to that lawsuit $62,000.
Yeah, they donated the most, and that's what Pretty Matthew was saying. Like they finally contributed to the industry. They definitely contributed the most.
Anything beneficial.
Yeah, it's like, thank you, fuckheads. We're in this fucking suit because of you. But I mean, if it wasn't them, it would be another company. Let's just be honest, you know.
No, it's a lot of them. Because for my own curious sake, I just went to Google, typed in e-juice, clicked on the first link. First product here is a girl with 34 Fs hand drawn onto an e-juice bottle, and that is your first result.
That's what I mean.
Jerry's been trying to do boob spotting. I like it.
The screening process for vape models bothers me.
Dude, everybody knows that's how you sell juice. You just put big titties on the bottle.
Yeah, but like
no, it's hand drawn Daisy Duke, like straight blonde. Like I have 34 F tits, and that's the entire picture.
I don't even have to look at that picture.
Could you check out the cup size? Like, are you an expert here?
Have you seen the models that they hire to fucking promote
this shit? No, they don't hire them. They have an Instagram account. That's it.
See, that's where they fail. Is they're going after the same audience as everyone else. Me personally, I'm starting a line called Bear Juice, and I'm putting Rick on the front in a speedo.
just fat man dingo dicks on the label.
It's on quads. I mean,
yeah. And then we're gonna have muscle juice as well.
Dude, just hire actors from Blacked to like pose for you.
That sounded pretty racist, Mr.
Blacked is a porn website, you fucking idiot, you miscreant.
What color are they?
They're black, of course.
Okay, well then.
What does the e-fucked flavor taste like?
E-fucked flavor.
Also, I really just want to point out that
gummy
the
bears.
history of vaping is a dude in a fucking top hat vaping in like a 3-piece suit.
That's classy, dude. You got a problem with that?
I find it funny how 3 years ago we made fun of Hirsch.
Everything.
And then the vaping industry turned into like just this metaphor of Hirsch.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Crystal Menthe.
You're spelling that wrong.
God, dude.
Oh man,
I still have his pictures saved somewhere, by the way.
Wait, Graham, you said you talked to Manson and he's not gonna make it?
Yeah, I don't even know who you guys are talking about.
You fucking asshole.
Yeah, no, we probably shouldn't talk about that much, but yeah, no, I still have that picture fucking saved.
I mean, a few years ago, vaping had such a low bar to entry that anybody could start a business.
Well, that's how it is with the vape models right now.
So it, you know, it wasn't. There was really not much difficulty for you to be able to put product out on the market and to actually be able to sell it. I mean, you had to work to try to lose money 3-4 years ago with vaping, right? But the majority of the industry never matured away from that. Like even the companies that have become bigger, become nationally distributed, a lot of them never grew past that initial Wild West mentality.
Yeah, because of money.
Yeah.
You're always going to have that. You get too big too quick, and you're always going to have the people that just don't give a fuck. They don't care at all. All they care about is the money, and they just go. And then there's the conscientious companies, and it's like that in every industry, I think. Not like it is in this one, but it's a little more open, a little more obvious, I guess.
I'm going to start a pump and dump fast food chain. It's going to be great.
Burger models?
Yeah, I was going to have burger models, and then like at the last minute, I'm just going to dump it and drive off in the Lambo.
Yeah.
I thought you were bringing hot dogs back, man. I'm disappointed.
Hot dogs never took off in the fast food.
It's never not a good time for hot dogs.
Hey, there's this awesome place in New York called PDT, and like you have to go in through a phone booth or some bullshit, but they do like really, really good hot dogs, and that's all they do.
That's like that speakeasy place, right? Like you go to it's like a regular storefront. You like go to the back, and there's like Old South phone booth or whatever.
Do they really?
Yeah. It's like a secret passage, and it's like a 1920s speakeasy.
But with hot dogs?
Yeah,
like hot dogs speakeasy.
At the end of
They do
Yeah.
alcohol and stuff too, but like they have like fancy hot dogs and stuff.
Gonna bring a bouncer and an egg. And give
They
you-
have like $18, $20 cocktails like Death and Co, like that
Get
type
the
of thing.
fuck outta
But their hot dogs
You better
are
freeze those hot dogs
insanely
if you
good.
do that to me.
So, Dwayne, do you still build? Are you still like a super sub-ohm, like giant clouds kind of guy, or have you because I used to be like that, and over the last like 2 years or so, I've started going like back to closer to when I first started vaping. Like that's that like the higher nicotine, low airflow.
Vaping. I've stayed pretty consistent. I'm not as crazy as I used to, because I used to vape like the gnarly staple helix 0.05 ohm dual coil builds and stuff like that. But lately, dude, aliens, like these 3x27 and 3x28 gauge aliens, that all like M Turk and Coil Turd, all those guys, their coils are just absolutely fantastic. And it definitely has gone down. I was like, my wattage has gone down more than anything. Like, I vape, 110, 115, and now I'm like 80, 85 in that neighborhood. So I think, my lungs have finally said, hey, bro, fucking take it easy for a minute, And so I've cooled off my vapes. So I've changed in that aspect, but I still occasionally will like to bust out and vape on some crazy coils. Recently, a guy named Widowmaker Vapor on Instagram made me a set of like super nice like staple helix with corrugated wire in the middle. And dude, those were so damn nice. They were so good, but so warm. But I still have that set.
They make it so easy now. They make it so easy. Amtrak's putting in work, man. He puts in work. I can't even believe the amount of shit he does all day.
Dude, I don't know how. When we were talking about that convention that we met at in Ontario, that was the last convention myself, Twisted Messes, and Squid Dude ever built at. And we were just, I think we got to a point where we're just so burnt out. And we're going to these conventions, and local vape was flying us out there, which that was cool. But then you're building for 3-day blocks just nonstop, right? And you're just there, and you have a crowd of people, and you're nonstop, dude. There's conventions where I didn't even get to go pee once the whole day. Like I was just sitting there building for a never-ending crowd of people, and then so I think that was the convention where we kind of went, I'm not doing this anymore. And I don't think any one of us have really picked up a drill after that convention.
It takes the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Because I used to build because I was definitely more of a hobbyist vapor a couple years ago, and I liked to build because it was something I did like in the evenings when I got to work. I'd like sit down, build something. I'd be like rebuilding or making coil lengths like every night or every couple nights, just as like an activity. But it's after a while it stopped being entertaining. It stopped being like a fun thing, and I just kind of moved away from it.
When it stops being, when the fun stops and it's not relaxing anymore and it turns into work. That's when it really just like loses its luster and all that. And there's still there's still build concepts out there that nobody's done that I know are out there that can be done. So I'm hoping that I've taken enough break, because I'm going to start getting back into doing YouTube and doing some build tutorials and some other stuff. I'm going to try to stay in my lane and stick to just RDAs, RDAs and builds. I just want to focus on that.
Well, when you got out of the game, there was so much shit happening all at once. You know what I mean?
Like 3-4 years ago, it was just crazy to see. Like every couple of days there would be like a new build. There'd be like a new build tutorial. All of a sudden it was like
everything was new.
Clapped in, staggered fuse clapped in, staple coil, staggered staple, staggered in, the alien variants, just like every week somebody had a brand new idea and they'd be able to build. It was just crazy, like seeing the progression that fast.
Yeah, that shit was a
All of them
blast.
suck.
Yeah.
That shit was a blast, man.
Yeah, you get back into
I
it,
think
right?
I think what you said translates to a lot of things, like mixing too,
Cooking.
and cooking and art. Like you do any of those professionally for a while, you need to have your own passion projects on the side that you do that to keep the creativity and to keep the love for it.
Art in general, you know.
Yep.
I mean, we're all artists in one form or another at this point, you know. And if you're doing something because you have to, it never works.
I was talking to Graham earlier this week, and I had to admit, like, I really don't watch any of the other, you know, like vape show, like the DIY shows, and like I hate to admit it, but like I never watch Wayne's like In the Mix. I don't watch Noted because I make e-liquid as a, you know, for my living all day. So in my free time, I don't necessarily want to put that amount of work and attention into, you know, what I do to get paid for. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
No,
totally
that makes total
sense.
sense. Yep, exactly.
Me going and playing in a casino, you know, like I told you earlier,
Mm-hmm.
the last thing you want to do when you work for it. But
It's part of the reason why all of Jerry's vaping shows got canceled.
yeah,
Like
that was part of it.
Like Verve and Coke Can loved helping beginners. They loved helping beginners, and then they
Oh, yeah,
started
we
doing a
loved
show
it.
about it.
And then once Jerry's not
And
a
I was
beginner
like,
anymore,
well, fuck.
That and also never do a contest.
Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't help that three
Never do a
fatalistic
fucking
people on
contest.
one show.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Like,
Like,
Eventually, it became the like I want to fucking die show.
you should have turned that into a Russian roulette contest. I would have
Don't
watched.
say it. Don't say it, Rick. You're gonna jinx us.
no, I was gonna say, yeah, you get tired of mixing, end up doing dumb shit like vaping 12% flavorless creme de menthe all day.
Oh, fuck me, bro. Jesus Christ, you're a
Dude.
savage, bro.
Dude, Concrete, man, his he does flavor notes for like he takes like single flavor from the flavor houses and then does like testing on it and then posts his notes.
Uh-huh.
It's insane, like reading the stuff that he writes on that, like the
Except
amount of work
each
that he
note-
puts in on
yeah.
those.
But
Oh,
each
well,
note's a fucking novella.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny too because I moved off Reddit for that specifically because I felt like I wanted to write more about flavor that wasn't like just straight up like here's the facts. So I've been having a little bit more fun with it, but it's been interesting getting back into that. I've started posting on YouTube again. So
Can you imagine what something tastes like to him? You ever think about that? Like what he's actually tasting?
dude, I'm not good at tasting things. I just write about it.
You're better than me.
I do what absolutely everybody else does. I'm just the idiot that takes extra time and writes it out and tries to like communicate it to
He's
people.
the first
would
one to
argue-
learn Reddit formatting.
Yeah,
I
but
just
Rick,
think he's
but
got
Rick,
to
you're
better.
very, very good at that.
Because if I
You
taste
don't
something,
use
I'm just like that.
emojis.
I have like 3 words to explain the way it tastes. You could
I think-
literally go on for 5-10 minutes.
I think you actually do have a more advanced palate than the vast majority of vapors.
If you can identify 42 flavors on a piece of popcorn, it's better than me. It's just it's a lot more, and you can describe it. And I'm talking plain popcorn.
That's true. Those
No
are
butter.
facts, man.
Yeah.
Thing is the more you do it, the more in tune you become with it, right?
Yeah.
He
So
ain't wrong.
I
The more
think
you,
And then the more
you start to
context you
eat
get, well, the more context you get too. So like a vape train, I've been going through vape train and like I tried their
Oh,
shisha
God.
peach flavor and it's like you can describe how it tastes, but the other like interesting piece of contextual information is how does it compare to the 8 million other peach flavors out there? You got to
Yeah.
build up that database of flavors to compare everything to
Yep.
and trying to put everything in context and communicate it effectively. Like I'm not saying I'm fantastic at it, but I've been getting
No, you are.
it's kind of cool.
You're the best. You're the best. You're the best there is. There's no question. You're world famous. No question. You're the best.
you and me, bro.
The
We're
world famous flavor
even in
boy.
North Korea.
Top right, man. Taking it right there. Telling you, you guys are the best. I hate going after you on mixing mixes. To be honest with you, I hate it.
I just keep talking so Ren and Jarvis don't yell at me, basically.
They need to calm the fuck
So
down.
you're
those two.
you're one of the vixens then?
I am not a vixen. I am
What
one
makes a
of the
vixen?
schmucks they bring in to do the end of the month like roundup on the recipes and go for the judging. For that.
Oh, it's so that they have some real
We
talent
judge
on the show.
girls.
No, it's because they can push us around easily.
Because we want to put those
Yeah.
broads in their place. That's
Yeah, it's
why.
because we feel guilty being the patriarchy.
I don't.
We've had our time for long enough. Alicia, it's your turn.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm talking to people in the chat.
Well, you're on a fucking show.
Oh, I forgot
I
about
know.
chat. What's up, chat?
Just kidding. Just kidding.
There's a chat. Where's the link for the chat, bro?
Oh, it's
On the
you have to
Facebook
be open up the YouTube for it.
Okay.
Just make sure you mute the YouTube.
Yeah, I will. I won't do
Otherwise-
that to you.
Well, no. You've got headphones on, but no, it'd be annoying for you to hear it twice.
It's like having an auditory stroke. It's
I love
great.
that. It's my own voice. I love it when it's in my own ear.
I hate listening to shows that I've done. I fucking hate my voice.
Yeah, me
Ugh.
too. I can't watch my own videos.
I think that's a natural thing.
It's it's
Not
like
me.
You
it's
have
like
to be a YouTuber, to be a true YouTuber, you have to be a narcissist.
it's like
I
borderline
tried for a
painful.
while.
Otherwise, you're gonna hate editing so
Like
much.
when I first did it, I tried to like listen to the first like 20 shows I did ever to just like, oh, I can improve on this or this or this, and after a while, it's just like I fucking hate this. Like, why am I doing this? Fuck everything about
Try
this.
doing Chatterbait. Watching that back. Whew.
I need a link, Graham. I want to see this.
You want to do my editing?
Yeah. No, I got some really artistic ideas on how to frame your balls and asshole.
Well, okay. I'll give you a shot.
Like fucking Scorsese over here, just setting up my shots. It's gonna be awesome.
Do that. I just don't need a director. It's the last thing I need. You got
Fucking
enough.
cinema verite of the taint.
All right.
All right, Graham. Now gently open the door of the public bathroom.
Yeah. Tap your toes. Tap your toes.
Gonna pull a Larry Craig.
Hey, Tim.
Throwback reference.
Man, I'm getting too good at this shit. Bro, sometimes I surprise myself.
It's awesome, right?
Oh, dude, I pulled the chat up in a new window and everything. Oh my
Oh,
god.
damn.
I
just
did.
learned how to do that. I just learned how to do that.
I did too, right now.
Right.
I was like, well, let's see where this goes. Let's click that fucking button.
I
Pretty
forgot the
soon.
chat popped out next to the Zoom, and then over here I just have on the other screen, I've got the entire YouTube video just going.
He's-
Yeah, no need to
Millennials
rub
are
it in.
fucking
See, I just have 3
You're just
monitors.
bragging.
So
Right?
I have
Personally.
OBS on this monitor, Zoom on this one, and then YouTube over here.
Yeah,
watching
I love being in my 20s and all of this coming naturally to me.
Yeah, fuck off.
You guys have way
I'm
more
watching mine on a
dedication
Game
than
Boy.
I do.
It wouldn't surprise me if you were.
You're just using a Mac, right?
Oh,
No, it's
Fancy.
broke.
Oh.
It's using
No,
an
I
Alcatel
rebuilt
phone
it
at this point.
with a Coleco parts.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
If you have the Atari 2600, just hook straight up to YouTube.
Yep. Got a Game Boy in my right hand. Fucking it's rad. A 3DS.
Who doesn't want to live stream from one of the Game Boy cameras? That would be awesome. Let's make that happen.
You just every frame you're just printing it out with a little Game Boy Advance printer or whatever.
With a little fucking sticker paper too.
Yeah. You guys are bit.
Wait, are you refilling a squonk bottle outside of your mod?
I am, bro. I am.
Oh God, we gotta hear this again.
Bro,
You're
Okay.
like,
I made this. I made it easy to pop out. So you
Dude, that's the coolest fucking feature.
yeah.
No.
So I can be lazier.
I feel like a sci-fi scientist, just wow,
Oh,
just fucking replacing a power core.
Do you hold the cap to the bottle in your mouth when no one's looking?
I do that, and then I lick it when I'm done. I do the lick. So I.
Yeah.
you should have
All
put a
the
rope
shit.
on it so you can swallow it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the move right there.
This is the key. This is the stuff you can't put in a tutorial video on your mod, And what
Yeah.
you want to do is go ahead and suck the top of it off.
Because that screams litigation.
That's what
Yeah.
she said?
Frozen esophagus.
I let my toddler lick my bottle off, and now he's dying.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting sued.
Help me harvest his organs before he dies.
Yeah.
How do I
really-
make sure his
really-
kidneys don't go bad?
See, that's sad.
Freezer.
Oh, come on. You've never seen that episode of The Office, Graham?
I'm just saying.
You've got to preserve. You've got to be quick. The organs only
Graham
last for
has
6
morals
minutes.
all of a sudden?
I'm just saying you kept them out of the refrigerator.
No,
you know?
Graham's all about harvesting the organs of full-grown hookers. He doesn't like children
Dude,
organs.
hookers
They
have
don't
some
sell
fine
for
organs.
much.
Now,
Graham, are you pulling a Frankenhooker thing? Please tell me you are, because that's an awesome movie.
I just gotta connect the connections.
A hooker centipede.
Is that the Drill Bro version 3?
No, Dwayne, when Graham asked you to be on the show on Facebook, did he still have that profile picture of himself melded in with Donald Trump?
It's still like the most disconcerting thing.
Did you? I don't know. I didn't even look at your profile picture.
Yeah,
was I supposed to?
No, probably not.
Yeah, no, you're there. That's
now, Graham. Does Ohmboy does Ohmboy know how
He's our PR guy, by the way.
Does Ohmboy know how you met him?
I think so. I know that we had our year anniversary the other day. Friendiversary.
Oh, we did? I missed that.
Well,
bro, I'm an asshole friend.
No, you replied with hearts.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay, Steve.
He was like, I was gonna go, but then I just decided to keep living my life.
Yeah, right. Come on.
It's been a hectic ass week, especially with ECC.
How was it?
It was. I mean, our booth was busy. Some other people complained that it was slow, but we got put in the small room, the bastard stepchild, the ginger hall, as I like to call it.
Yeah, where they usually put us.
Yeah, that's where we got to be, and it still was super, super busy the whole time. So, I mean, we had a great time. I don't think we made much money, but fucking, it's more fun to go there and hang out than.
Right.
It's less business for us than it is to, go hang out and get to see everybody. And
now, were you there? Were you there last year?
Yeah, I was there last year.
I heard last year was extremely disappointing.
So I don't see last year they screwed us and they put us in the main hall and they put us in the corner by TVL. I don't know if you guys remember where TVL was last year. We were right next to VGod and TVL. So we had like a huge booth in front of us.
Did it smell like Axe body spray?
No, it just smelled like vanilla custard in there.
Because I can imagine being stuck between the stacked mods and VGod. It just smelled like wallet chains and Axe body spray.
Yeah, so we were cornered, right? So we had a bunch of people there, but our booth was like there's no way to get in and out of it. So our booth was last year. It gave me a lot of anxiety because there's no escape route. I don't know. I'm just super.
Yeah.
I get a lot of anxiety when I'm around a lot of people and there's nowhere to go. Yeah. So this year was cool because we had a bigger booth, so we had space for everybody. But last year, God, it felt like a shit show.
That's not good when you're in like nowhere to back up into, and there's all kinds of people that are
just
And those big shows can get kind of overwhelming too. Like you got to get some time to step away from the booth.
Oh yeah, Nick and I dip out to the bathroom and sit on the toilets. That's our secret spot.
You guys
we just sit on the toilet talking to each other. So if you're ever at ECC and you go into the bathroom and you hear two dudes just talking to each other, that's us taking a break. That's our feet.
Just start juuling in the bathroom.
Oh, we do, dude. That's our secret hideout spot. It sounds so nasty.
You said one of the funniest things I ever heard when you were talking about him being Baker. Was it Baker or Barstow or whatever? Where you talk about him being naked in the public bathroom?
It's true. That fucker gets naked. I don't know why he denies it.
Goddamn funny, dude.
What's wrong with pooping fully naked? All right.
In the bathroom in Barstow?
There's nothing wrong with pooping naked. Just lock the fucking door. That's all I ask.
That's the requirement.
No one wants
but
to
how
walk
are people
in on
supposed to know that they're invited?
Well,
maybe he was inviting me and he just threw me off guard. I don't know.
Yeah.
You didn't take the opportunity to pee between his legs?
No, I paused for a sec. I did the pause. I opened the door and I was like,
"That's a grown naked man."
Housekeeping.
And I looked and I was like, "You put your fucking clothes on the towel hanger." Just close the door. Like the Kool-Aid man when he busts into the wall and he starts walking out slowly like that. Yes. That was me exiting the bathroom going, I've seen too much.
Oh, that's the greatest story,
dude. What about grown? I really hope he's not, but grown men that pull their pants down to their ankles to take a pee at the urinal.
You know who that is.
I actually haven't seen that in a few years,
dude.
So.
I've seen one in the past like 4 years in the military, and I can tell you right now. The moment I met the dude, I went.
You already knew it.
I went, You piss with your pants around your ankles, don't you?
It's a certain type. You can tell immediately, right?
Like the type that struggled through kindergarten.
Yeah.
And then
You
got
guys
through
are in the middle.
through the rest of the school, but just by sheer pity.
Finger painting fucked them all up. I know what you mean, dude. Yeah, you walk in, you're just like, what is going on? It's odd to see, right? A grown man with his pants around his ankles.
Well, in the military, everyone's seen your dick, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
pretty
still,
much.
it's weird.
But no, it's weird because like you walk into a restroom in a professional environment. Like I work in an office building.
Drop it.
You walk into the fucking restroom and there's just this sergeant
it,
with
whip it
his
out, dude.
pants around his ankles standing
Wait.
at the urinal.
In NCO?
Yeah. Yeah, it was an army sergeant and I'm like, wow.
I would be laughing my ass off, dude. You got to get me really drunk and I'll do that, bro.
I immediately left and went to talk to the dude that he works with. I was like, you won't believe what I just saw.
Oh, that's
like,
definitely something you go talk to other people about.
I'm like, yo, you remember the first time we were on shift together with this dude? It happened.
He's just a fucking alpha male. He doesn't give a shit.
No, that's something weird, dude. There's something going on there, I think.
He's probably puffing his chest out too.
He's just marking his territory by showing people his bare ass.
Yes, butthole. That's not cool. That's just a different thing. There's something very different going on there.
Okay, no, relating to ECC.
He wants to move on because he knows he does it.
No, dude, I'm a straight sitting down pissing kind of guy.
You sit down to piss. That's even weirder.
Wow, dude, way to be a soy boy.
Yeah. Fucking moho.
It's more comfy. But no, going back to ECC.
I'm out.
Do you go there so no one sees you lactating?
I wish.
All right, I will admit that sometimes I go outside to pee because I enjoy.
I do that
in the world's largest toilet. All right.
How do you keep your dick out of the water?
There's something very wonderful about peeing outside.
I agree.
It's a magical thing. You're
It's perfectly natural.
No, for sure.
Why do you think I leave half the time off this show?
Pee outside? In Detroit?
Well,
Detroit.
it's different when you're homeless because that is your home. You're like
Yeah,
pissing.
you're just
That's pissing in your living room, you know.
That's just disrespect from your own house. Don't linger longer, me.
Jerry,
I
I
just
storage
keep
room.
knocking out new bottles around for it.
But no, okay. Related to ECC, is the Excision kids still alive? Like, did they still show up with the put your base in the e-juice bullshit, and like get into fucking like dinosaur costumes?
Is that for me? Are you talking to me? Did I see any dinosaurs?
Dude, I feel
I didn't see any dinosaurs. I saw Jesus, and I saw some guy wrapped in a UK flag.
Dude, last time I was at ECC Detroit, there was Excision, like the dubstep guy. Apparently, he has an e-juice line where the slogan is "Put your base in the e-juice" or some bullshit. And their entire booth was just some dude in a fucking blow-up dinosaur costume running around.
Oh, the T-Rex joint that people are always doing stupid stunts in. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
the first time you said that, I was worried you were having a stroke. I heard that sentence.
No idea.
I heard that sentence and I went, "Should we call
Can you
somebody?"
smile for me?
Do you taste copper?
Every time he said Ephesians, I thought that something was happening. I thought he was missing.
To be fair,
you
the
said-
tagline is bass infused, which I think bass infused is way better. You just put like Billy the Big Mouth Bass right on the front of the bottle.
And no one's done a good fish juice.
The first time he said that, he was like, "Is Excision still alive?" I know he did
Your ex-wife, Greg.
he did the dance and there was a dinosaur costume and I went, "What the fuck is going?"
One of those lucid dreams. Like
I went to that ECC and basically said never again.
I was
because of that.
like, "Yo, Jerry, lay off the Ambien, my dude."
Yeah, like one of those news reporters.
Hey, that's a fun game though. You do take a few Ambien and then try to stay awake and fuck. It's really hard.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
No, but that's always.
Thank you, Graham, for not linger longering.
I'm just trying to.
Awkward silence on that one.
I don't know, man. It's like
I appreciate that.
Was that part of your New York degenerate lifestyle, just taking recreational drugs and seeing how long you could fuck on them?
Yes.
Okay.
It's nice to have goals.
Dude, there's free condoms in every bathroom.
What are those?
Most of the bars in New York have free condoms in them. Go for it.
Ugh. You sailor.
They have them in the women's too. In a lot of the gloves.
Disgusting animals.
That's progressive. I like it.
Pigs.
What the fuck was that comment?
I'm just saying. I don't know how you wear a condom when you're scissoring.
Alicia, I'm sorry for Graham. You're a valued member of this podcast.
Oh, thank
Who
you.
said she wasn't? I just don't understand female condoms.
I feel like there's a lot about the.
I don't understand female orgasm. I feel like it's a myth.
I'm
don't
absolutely
get
not
the
surprised by that.
Female condoms. I feel like they're just like bags. That's basically
Right, they belong on your head. So what the fuck are they doing?
Oh, so you're saying don't throw out like the grocery bags?
No.
Put eyeballs
Just
on them.
just
No,
lube
they're
just
weird.
lube them up
I've
and
never used one. I don't ever intend to use a female condom. That you guys can.
Not your problem, right?
Now, can I make a substitute if I just take one of those long balloons, put it in there, and just
Make a fucking farm animal out of it. Dump it up there.
You know what's gonna happen if you put that on yourself and then it loses the air, right?
You're gonna get rubber burn.
yeah,
the water
no,
balloons.
it's cool.
It's gonna be real tight.
Hey,
You might like
Yeah.
that.
hey,
It'll
when
actually
it
fill
fucking
you.
explodes.
yeah.
It's like an
It'll
apple.
fill you for once.
I know what you mean. I know what you're saying.
For condoms, it's great because I just buy rubber gloves and I get 5 condoms per glove. It's fantastic.
Have you seen those little finger condoms that they
Yeah,
have?
they're adorable.
Are you talking to me specifically?
Yeah, no, they have those in
Why are you
kitchens
pointing
for
at
when
me?
you cut your
You know
when you
that.
cut yourself.
I'm
5 out of 1.
I'm talking
I-
to Skittles here, man.
Babe, I'm sorry, dude. I thought you were talking directly to me when you were talking about those little condoms.
I want to know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I thought all real cooks just seared the cut closed in a pan.
Why would you do that?
I thought all real
Because you gotta be a
chefs would just get a pan and heat it up real hot and then just like.
Gotta be a fucking man.
No, you just
cauterize that shit, bro.
you just throw a finger condom on it and don't give a shit because the
Why
only
do
thing
you
that
guys keep
really
bringing
hurts
this up?
is burns. Burns hurt.
I mean, you can take all the cuts you want as long as you aren't out of cocaine. You're staying in that kitchen.
That's
Yeah,
true.
That's very true. Actually, I think Adderall was the drug of choice in kitchens.
Okay, as long as you aren't on legal cocaine.
Yeah, well,
there you
you're
go.
or
staying
like
in
legal
that kitchen.
methamphetamine.
Yeah,
which is
but
so much better than cocaine. I've heard
speaking
Jarvis
of
is right. You use super glue.
speaking of
Seal
kitchen
section.
fingers,
on your fucking female condom.
No, to
No,
close the
on
cut.
your cuts.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh.
I wanna
oh.
get a hold of Chipotle's
It's like
chainmail
can't
guy.
stay in. Yeah.
Because Chipotle has those chainmail gloves
Scared
that they use when they cut the fucking beef. I want to know their chainmail guy.
They
Yeah,
use
it's like
they use those too for when they're shucking oysters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what you call it.
You can get one off of Amazon.
Shucking oysters.
They're pretty standard for like anybody doing butchering and stuff like that. Like
I
you
think-
don't want to fucking slip with that shit.
I might actually have a set.
Like a chastity belt.
I gave my dad one of those gloves.
I think
Wow.
I think my wife got herself some because she's terrible with a knife.
Just stop right.
I only got him for my dad because like he goes
It's a
and
small thing.
does like razor clamming and
Mhm.
he goes and actually like gets oysters and stuff all the time. Like he gets them himself.
Yeah, I have fucked myself up shucking oysters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He cut his hand pretty bad once, so I was like, "You should get these gloves." And then he
Because those knives generally aren't
What
that
the
sharp.
fuck are you guys
Yeah,
talking
and it's so easy.
you have to use
slip
force.
trying to do
Dude,
that.
okay,
not
okay,
talking
Graham,
about-
when you shuck an oyster, you start away from you. So like
Yeah,
you
then
start
do
away
it like
from
in a
you.
come hither motion.
Yeah, you have to break the hinge, and then you've got to slide around to break the muscle. But
Right.
if it catches on the fucking shell, you don't like back out. You have to keep going and try to find a way around that. And people slip. People
okay.
usually slip when they're breaking the hinge and end up stabbing the shit out of their hand.
Cervix. Right.
Mhm.
Well, plus the oyster itself
Jesus.
is pretty fucking sharp. So if you
My dad was
Slip on the
sharpening.
oyster.
My dad was sharpening a chisel for a customer, and he was using a belt grinder, and it fucking slipped and shot into his hand, and like it, dude, the palm of your hand when you slice it open, it just looks like hamburger meat.
Yeah.
It's just
one of those
so
accidents
hamburgery.
You see it and you go fuck, and then you feel it.
Yeah, it's like along his entire palm. It's so
Lifeline.
bad.
Extended it.
That's like the worst. That's like one of the worst things. Like when you cut yourself super badly and you look at it,
Yeah.
and it takes a little bit for it to
There's a
start.
delay.
Like you have that like 5 seconds that you're like gonna be really bad, and then it just starts like pumping blood out. Yeah, that's always that
you
is
start
not a
saying,
good feeling.
"Fuck, oh fuck,
fuck, yeah.
fuck."
I had a torch. I was filling a torch with lighter butane one time, and I had another torch on the ground going, and I was filling it.
How much meth were you trying to do today?
Ton. It was a lot, but it wasn't really. I was just filling. I had a couple of lighters.
Yeah, sure.
And I just had the one on lock, and I looked at it and I went, "Wow, that's a really fucking bad idea."
Yeah.
And I saw the flames coming towards my face. That was a close one. That one was pretty close. I almost Richard Pryor.
What I used to do is I'd get the butane, get like the butane cans, and you fill a balloon with it, and then you fill your mouth with it, and you like
nitrous.
You breathe fire. It's cool as
fire
fuck.
breathing.
Yeah.
You look like a fan of inhalants.
You do.
No, I didn't huff the shit. All right, I wasn't like, hey, let's die today. No, I'd fill my cheeks because I gotta like I can fit a lot of nuts in here. Like, give me all your nuts. I'll fit all of your nuts in here. Fucking 6 pair.
You can't look like you do inhalants and pure racism at the same time. You got to choose.
Inhalants are bullshit. You ever seen somebody really on inhalants? It's fucking weird, man.
That was one of like before I got sober. I used to watch Intervention, right?
Yeah.
And after I got sober, like, it's not enjoyable anymore. Like, when that show first started, they really did like it was a small section in the beginning showing them in their addiction, and then the majority of the show would actually be like the intervention and them going to treatment and like that part of it. And then at some point it switched and they want to show the train wreck for as long as possible. But like that was one of the one of the worst episodes that I saw. There was a chick that was she was using the compressed air, like the computer cleaner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The duster.
And dude,
duster girl.
So like that one was like seriously,
dude, it's
like,
fucked.
disturbing.
Did you like watching them sit there and like literally just induce seizures in themselves?
Bro, I
for
knew
the sake of a high.
Stop, dude.
She couldn't fuck. She would not fuck unless she had inhale it. Like that was her like aphrodisiac or whatever. And
that shit will
weird.
That shit will wreck you too. Like the saddest part was like her trying to talk.
Yeah, they believe they're in regular motion and they're just not. They're like super slow motion. Like, it's crazy.
And I've done a lot of drugs and drank a lot, you know, in my time. But that one like made me physically uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the one where the dude was like so addicted to alcohol that when his jaw was broken or something, he made his wife give him an enema? He died.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Hey, Keystone shit is a very good way to.
She fucking gave him an enema of an entire bottle of vodka.
You can taste it.
Shit.
Yeah, and he died.
Yeah.
OD'd on alcohol.
Yeah, he just directly absorbed that into his system without filtering through anything.
He's a savage.
To have a guy that went on tour with her just to blow coke at her asshole. Seriously.
The thing is, though, was like they had shown a few of, and like in that episode, or whatever, they like had shown one of the early ones where he had actually gotten the enema from her. Like they go off into the bathroom.
Is it an enema, really?
I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you let that be filmed? First of all, but
it's
also,
very antisocial.
I've always wondered that.
Your wife is giving you the enema.
Like,
Mr. Hands got it filmed. So
yeah, I guess it could be a party, but.
If you're at that point though that you're willing to just like take an enema every day, you probably don't have a problem. You probably don't have a problem. Like, film that shit, bro.
That's
turkey based
that's one thing that's always surprised me about shows like that is like you have to get that release signed off on, and I'm just surprised that people are willing to do it.
Surprised at the amount of people that aren't
the
blurred
wife
out.
ended up having to approve it because the dude died.
Yeah, because she shoved vodka in his butthole.
I'm like, wouldn't you get arrested for that? Like, do you? Like,
nah.
No.
Yeah, that's like contributing. That's like negligent homicide almost, or like a manslaughter to like do that to somebody. Yeah.
Like, what if she what if they were doing like a cheers and she tipped him back a shot? You know what I mean? Like, and he died from alcoholism. Is that the same thing?
No, that's
not the same thing as shoving an entire fifth of vodka up someone's ass.
Yeah.
If a person drinks way too much alcohol at a bar,
the bartender and the establishment can be held legally liable for what happens.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Is it strictly because she put it in his
if another person sticks a tube up your ass and then puts a whole bottle of vodka down it and you die, you're at fault. You did it. You put.
I would argue.
You gave them the enema and vodka.
That's what I
Or
mean.
whatever
Is it
liquor.
because it went in his asshole, or is it because
It's because it was an entire bottle of vodka and there was no filtration by the liver. It was straight up alcohol poisoning.
I mean, you had to know that that wasn't going to work out successfully.
No, and I mean when
Good,
she
it
was
seems
doing
like
it
a party.
before, she was doing little shots. I guess that like he made her do more, and then she just poured like the entire thing in.
She
goes,
said,
"Yeah?"
I'm tired of this. It's fine.
Probably, she probably just.
He's like, check him out with a guy who wants vodka in his asshole. She's probably cool to get it up there.
Well, she married the
dog.
right man.
Think about what what's her story? She married a guy that wants vodka in his asshole.
That's a slippery slope, ain't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
That's a good pun.
First it starts with vodka. Where does it end?
Oh yeah, that's baseline. I mean,
Yeah,
Jesus
no,
Christ,
that's
we're talking
Fucking straight
ends with Graham.
antifreeze. Just straight
Exotic
antifreeze
animals.
up there.
Yeah, bro. That's why I'll never let a girl stick a finger in my butt. I don't know if I'd like it. And then at what point does one finger not become enough?
Yeah, and then
you know it's good.
and then eventually you're like,
About
hey, it
that,
feels
because-
good to have fingers in my ass. What about other stuff?
Yeah, I mean, fucking one finger ain't cutting it. Put three in. You know.
Next thing you know,
And
you're
you
that
know-
naked dude sitting down hard on fire hydrants.
with the pelvis ID, with the pelvis X-ray. Yeah, you want to be that guy? Fucking Tonka truck up your ass? Yeah, right.
You end up no. You end up
WS-23?
as concrete with a strap on.
Yeah, well, that's
You
Hey,
never know.
That's
It gets
such
the
a
job
nice,
done, man.
a nice place. Concrete, you're gonna progress probably.
I'm talking like Rubik's cube. That's where it's gonna end up.
I'm a big dude too.
Come out totally done. Yeah, Rubik's cubes and WS-23. That's where I'm headed.
Just fucking WS-23 all up in there.
Dude, WS-23 and everything.
Yeah.
Like
Especially-
every liquid I've made for like the last 2 months has been WS-23. I've gone
Yeah,
completely insane. Did I tell you I ordered a gallon of it the other week?
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I don't blame you, man. I love that stuff. It's so nice because we just had Coolada for the longest time.
Yeah. Do you know, Dwayne? You know what WS-23 is?
No, I'm totally immune to that.
Have you ever had any of the? Have you ever had any of that Malaysian or Indonesian juice, like the super cold fruit flavors?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's you've used Coolada before, right?
Yeah.
So Coolada is WS-10, I think.
Three.
5 or 7.
No, it's
3.
not 5. 5 is
It's
colder.
3.
Yeah.
3.
So WS-23 is there's a whole bunch of different cooling agents that all start with WS, but like WS-23 is like what would you guys say, like 10 times colder than Coolada?
Probably. It
Oh,
doesn't
wow.
have
I
any
mean,
flavor either.
it depends on the concentration. The WS-23 that you get is usually diluted to 30%. WS-3 is usually sold at 10%. So like
Right.
it's actually tactilely a little bit colder, but they sell the WS-23 more concentrated.
Well, Coolada has more of effect on covering up the flavors, though, on muting flavors than WS-23 does.
It
Like,
also
if you-
does,
And
like,
it has a
cocaine.
flavor of its own.
If you got Coolada crystals and made your own 30% solution, I think you would notice like a much decreased amount of flavor in a liquid if you use that in place. You know what I mean? Like if you made a liquid with 30% Coolada solution and then made it with 30% WS-23 solution, I think there would be a noticeable difference in flavor between the two of those.
But it's cleaner, huh? The WS-23 is a clean, cool.
It's
Yeah.
just ice.
Flavor?
It's just straight ice.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
No,
it's fantastic.
no
Alright.
wet cardboard, no mental.
What do you-
health.
It can
What
mute
do
a
you,
little bit
uh,
on bakeries, but that's about it.
What do we what?
What are you bringing in? What are you bringing in at? Like a 0.5% or percent? What are you mixing it at?
Depends what you're doing. I normally end up going if it's gonna be for like if it's gonna be a free base recipe, regular nicotine recipe, that's probably gonna be like 1%, maybe 0.75%. And then if it's gonna be a pod system, then I usually start at 1 and then
Okay.
work up from there if necessary.
Hey, Alicia, what'd that
I
mean?
like starting at 0.7. 0.7 is actually a pretty good spot for some recipes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think a lot of other people prefer it a little bit lower too, though.
Well,
I know both Rick and Matthew, you guys love the shit out of it and
Well,
crank it up a lot
you go
higher.
quick.
Okay,
You go,
but
bro.
I don't usually crank my WS-23 up that high. Like if I want actually like icy cold, like I'm a big fan of menthol. I'm trying to bring menthol back.
Mhm.
But if I want just like a little bit of a cooling edge to something, I'll usually drop in like 0.25% of WS-23 just to keep fruits or candies from getting like too cloying and sticky at the end.
See, if I'm using it, it's because I want the actual, like I want the cooling to be a part of the recipe, like the flavor experience, like the ice lemonade that I made. Like I want it to be like ice cold lemonade. So I did 1% with that.
Yeah,
I don't get the ice effect. I just do it because everyone else is.
I mean, that's one of the interesting things with this. Like, you know, there's people that can't taste artificial strawberry. You know, like they just can't taste any strawberry flavors. Or you taste pepper with the vanilla bean ice cream from TPA. You know, and I know there are people that can't.
That's Rick. He gets both.
Hey, there's people who can't vape peach, and I love the shit out of peach.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I would die without peach.
Rick gets both in his what was it?
No,
for 6 months you said?
No,
mustard milk. So
like the first DIY recipe I mixed up, I like was on the Reddit thing, and everybody liked mustard milk, and it's like 5% TPA VBIC and 7% TPA strawberry, and I tried that. Okay, 6.8, and I tried that, and I was like, there must be something wrong with me because this tastes like plastic and black pepper. Turns out, super sensitive to both of those flavors.
How are you even here? I don't get that.
I just I liked mustard milk, so that's how I started.
But what if you only
stupid? Like I just soldier through shit. Like if I try something and it doesn't work, I just keep on trying it until I figure out what the fuck's wrong.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna make it work, right? That's what I do with my marriages.
Just belligerent as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I will vape my mistakes just so I can like try to see what actually was the problem instead of just bitching it.
Yeah.
You're a trooper, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I usually mix up something else.
Right.
That's how I learned
I'll make something that actually tastes good, but I'll make sure to try to go through the bottle.
Oh yeah. So you know what's in there, what's too high. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I only like to make little, 10 mil samples of stuff when I'm really prototyping out, because I want to do the same thing, but I don't want to end up with 60 mils that needs to get vaped through.
Yeah. That's how I know when I've actually gotten something I'm happy with, when I'm like, oh yeah, this is all the same thing.
Yeah, consistent the whole way through. I've had issues with I was talking to Graham about it the other day. We're talking about some other stuff. I've had a couple of times where I've had a recipe, like I made, made some prototype batches, and then I made some like beta and alpha testing batches, small, 100 mils, 200 mils, divided it up, gave it out to people. Everybody liked it. We decided we were going to release it. And then I went and made a batch. It made like an actual like production batch of it. And it didn't scale up properly. There was just something.
I've heard a few people talk about that. I've never had that issue.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a couple people that talk about that, the mass batch.
Yeah, it's happened like 2 or 3 times, and it's just like the strangest thing because I couldn't figure out what happened.
It's so weird.
New flavors you were developing.
It's a percentage game.
Do you think that the flavor itself could be? Yeah, it's got to be something like that. Like the flavor itself at a certain amount has got to be doing something to itself. You know what I mean? Or something.
There could be.
Why.
I mean, I wouldn't think so, but it definitely could be like there is some sort of interaction between multiple flavors once it's at like a certain quantity,
crazy
not
though,
like
right?
ratio.
Because the percentages.
I think it's the deep state.
Yeah, I do too.
They're fucking with your juice, man. It's all the deep state.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick, I bought some more of the forbidden concentrate.
I'm a bitch.
Oh shit! You're gonna get FA&A mad at us.
Yep.
That going right up here.
That already happens.
Well, Fanny's already mad at us. Don't worry. I host the show. You think they think anything of this show?
Oh, it smells so good.
Well, wait,
OhmboyOC, quick weigh in on the diacetyl acetylpropanol state of the industry and your thoughts.
God, thank God that's kind of gone away, huh?
Yeah.
Thank God that's kind of fell by the wayside. Yeah, dude. Jeez, I remember, as a manufacturer when we were going through that, and all the shops asking us, well, what's the diacetyl count in this, and pestering and bugging us for MSDS sheets and lab reports on everything, and dude, I knew it was a fucking joke back then. It's substantially lower than a traditional cigarette, and I mean, you're talking about like thousands of times lower than a cigarette, and there is not one case has anybody that smokes cigarettes come out and said, I fucking got the popcorn lung from the cigarette,
Got the black lung, Bob.
That's the goddamn media, bro. That's the media. And nobody.
They're the worst.
I got the black lung, Pop.
It's our whole industry's up against this battle versus like mainstream media. Yeah, and I fucking wish they could be like held accountable in the court of law for the bullshit that they put out. But unfortunately, we're not coordinated enough to where we could go after these companies for publishing all these fake,
dude,
fake
it
news stories.
It was Dr. Farsalinos, that cardiologist.
It was fucking bullshit, dude.
Oh, who does he work for?
They can pry the flavor art corn
Flavor
from my cold
Art.
dead hands.
He works for Flavor Art Italy, man. It's all flavor art all the way up.
He's done a bunch of good work. He's done a bunch of good testing, like for the good of the industry. But there's definitely been some conflict of interest issues with him in the past.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I would probably stop vaping if everything went DAP free.
Yeah,
it just doesn't.
It tastes fucking amazing.
It's like butter.
Like shit.
Yeah,
it'd be like you baking without butter. You know what I mean? Let's go make some butterless fucking cookies. They're gonna taste like shit.
Do I look like a vegan? Fuck
yeah. Right.
I mean, the problem.
Some kind of pussy.
The problem though is like that is going to be like I'm pretty sure that's going to end up being part of whatever final regulations actually get put in place. Is going to be the elimination of diketones in American liquids, because I mean it's already
got Clearstream, bro.
I mean that's a requirement for TPD2. Like if you turn in TPD2 or MHRA flavors, they have to be diacetyl, acetylpropanol, and acetone free to be able to get approval.
Jerry, what were you gonna ask?
No, I just meant I made a joke about
my trunk since the 80s.
About what?
Clearstream.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to say it again?
Like the only people that actually got popcorn lung were like 3 factory workers in the 80s who were railing lines of fake butter. Like it's all just
and one other guy
to deal with.
No, there was one other guy.
The microwave popcorn guy.
Yeah, the microwave popcorn guy. The guy who had an apartment smaller than I've ever had. Like he had like a 250 square foot popcorn. This dude ate like 7 bags of fucking microwave popcorn every day.
That motherfucker needs to get
that
on.
Lady said, it even said on the.
Like he had a tiny ass room.
Have you heard this argument?
He just microwaved fucking butter all fucking day. Like that was his life.
What argument, Graham?
Well, he was eating like 4 or 5 bags a day of microwave popcorn, like extra movie theater butter microwave popcorn, like 4 or 5 bags a day of that. I think he has bigger issues than just the amount of diacetyl he was.
Like getting through his fucking door.
Yeah,
through his day. Yeah, we're saying that
if the popcorn lung don't kill me, the arteries will.
By the way, if you guys want really good popcorn, buy some Flavacol.
Dude, that shit is legit.
Yeah, that's the butter flavored salt that they use on popcorn at the movie theater.
Okay, I use.
Did I tell you guys?
Diacetyl fake butter and just use that as oil.
Did I tell you guys about that when I was at the movie theater and they let you like salt your own popcorn? So we have an AMC theater that like did the whole like luxurious seats. There's a bar in the movie theater, all that cool shit. And they have like butter machines that you can butter your own popcorn with the melted butter, and they have like the salt. So my wife and I are in line and we're talking to the dudes in front of us because we're white people and we do that in lines. So we're talking to them and they're like from the Midwest. They're down here. They were down here for the Masters, and the dude gets his popcorn and he goes and he puts butter on it. And my wife and I are at the butter machine next to him. We're getting butter on ours. We see him grab the salt and he just starts dumping it. Like he turns it over and there's just a stream. And because that shit is like bright yellow, he assumed that it was cheese.
Oh.
So I'm watching this dude destroy his popcorn with salt, and I'm like, I don't want to say anything because I want to see this dude eat a piece of this fucking popcorn.
I posted the link, by the way. It's good shit.
It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion, just watching it mound up on the top of this popcorn, and I'm like, his friends are in for a fucking world of hurt.
He's gonna get thirsty.
Thirstier than Mark Grimes?
Oh man.
I will
There's
fully admit I
nothing
do that-
thirstier than
yeah.
Mark Grimes.
I fully admit though I do that shit with pepper. Like if I have mashed potatoes, like it's just pepper and mashed potatoes, not mashed potatoes and pepper.
Get better pepper if you need to add that much, man.
I'll do that anyway.
Crack your own,
It's a
grind your own,
family
my
thing.
dude. Toss
I
it into
do.
a coffee grinder outside. Do not grind any sort of peppers inside. Peppercorn, dried pepper, don't grind that shit inside. It is not pleasant.
Also, do not cut jalapenos and then finger your girlfriend.
Yeah.
No, that's a courtesy.
Or finger your own asshole, you know? I don't
Yeah.
I'm totally not speaking from personal experience.
You know, it's a Friday night.
Just a
And you
friend.
cut up some jalapenos for your nachos. You want to have a good time. You go knuckle deep in your own asshole, and all of a sudden, it's the end of the world.
To be fair, Rick, it was guacamole. Okay,
Okay, here we go.
but
so it was worth the pain.
No, I ground
What?
some chipotle peppers in my food processor to like make a chipotle like sprinkle.
I'm sure your kitchen smelled like smokiness for
Dude,
the rest
yeah,
of the day.
no, but you take the lid off of that and your kitchen is filled with pepper spray. Fucking you can't escape it. It's so bad. Linger longer.
Yeah, no, let's continue on before this becomes another food show.
That was like one of the best shows that we've done in a long time.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
We're
But,
Senor
I
Graham.
feel like
But
the
yeah, it
last
was only-
3
it was
weeks have
only
just
like
been
group
food shows.
Yeah, if you guys learn anything, buy Rage and buy some Flavacol.
Put the Flavacol on the RDA.
Yeah,
Dude,
and
that's
make
my
sure
favorite
when you
margarita mix.
make sure when you unscrew the bottle that you hold the top of it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you got to lick it more. That sucks.
Yep, and squeeze it as you fill it.
Lost Vape did what I wanted to do on this thing. Lost Vape jacked me as far as the tabs, the notch tabs in the bottle, and then,
Oh yeah.
and then twisting. Yeah, I seen those guys and I went, fucking dicks. Everybody's gonna think I copied them when I do another mod. I was like, it was too hard to explain that to China.
Oh, real quick.
It is-
Why is the bottle so fucking stiff?
What do you mean stiff?
Like it's a stiff bottle. It's hard to press. It's hard to squonk, I've found.
Yeah, it depends on the RDA too. It depends on what RDA you're using because the hole in the RDA dictates how much flow you're going to get up to it. But the bottle stiffness itself is so people don't like exclusive girl with nails like poke through the
Oh,
soft
okay.
silicones. So I had to go with like a happy medium compromise on it. And then also, if you hold the bottom down, like do this, hold the bottom down on it. Hold on, I can't see myself.
Yeah, you can kind
I
of
don't know.
feel it push up. Kind
Yeah. So if you held that down, now try squonking it. Notice how much more easier it gets.
Oh yeah,
And
okay.
that's the tab would have stopped that and made it a hell of a lot easier to squonk. But there's just no getting them to understand how
Okay.
that would work.
Now,
Some muscles.
You do have to have some resistance on the bottle though, or you don't get the good suck back when you.
Yeah, exactly. And this
Because I've had some of like, because there was a period of time where like there were tons of silicone squonk bottles coming out from like all kinds of different manufacturers, and I got a couple that were like so ridiculously thin and soft that it like would not pull juice back.
I
out of them.
have noticed
don't
that
even
this
stand up.
that this is much better with over squonking than this.
Oh, really?
Oh, for sure. The fucking pulse, like it was always spitting back at me because
Oh,
it wouldn't pull back.
That wasn't a thing before, right? Like the old squonk bottles, they didn't
Well,
really
that's
think about that.
the
right?
old
Yeah, 'cause
squonk
that was
bottles were
the-
stiff as fuck.
Yeah,
brown ones.
they were like LPDE, before everybody switched
Statue
to
soap.
silicone. And like, all respect to Tony B, and I'm really happy that he brought the Pulse to market because it got everybody into squonking, and they saw that this was like a whole way that you can vape. But it's not a fantastic mod. I know a lot of people like it, but the Pulse isn't like
Yeah, it's not. I think for the price point of that mod, it's a good mod.
And it's a
'cause they
great
were able to get the
introduction.
pros.
It's a
Yeah,
great introduction
exactly.
to squonking. You don't have to invest a whole lot to try it, because before the Pulse, like the only squonk stuff on the market was either super high end or like really terrible
Kangaroo.
stuff,
Yeah, I
like
The
the drip box and like
I like
it,
that
it was one extreme or the other.
I like that he essentially took like what the high end mods are doing, just bending some copper and making contacts, and then just a shitty button with a physical safety on it. And he was like, yeah these don't cost $250 to make.
Well, yeah, those ones.
He was like, they cost about $15. Here they are for 35.
Whoa, but the titanium version, all right, that's
I
like
gotta pay for all that
$500.
3D printing is the future. That's
Like-
where the money comes in.
Oh my
like
God,
you
that drives
deposit
me.
money straight onto a substrate.
That drives me so nuts because 3D printing is cheaper.
Yeah, but
Like it's
Can't blame him.
so
different.
fucking cheap.
I mean, it is all cheap all the way around, but there are different levels of quality of 3D printing.
Yeah, you're forgetting that 3D printing is slow. That's the main cost
it.
indicator.
And I feel like that's like
Chinese
a draw
is
for them, so they can actually have that scarcity and charge more for their mods
we so much faster.
instead of like what AmeriVape did with the false scarcity, where they'd make like 2,500 mods and release 200 at a time.
Write your name on rice.
I mean, it's a business model that's worked for a long time
True.
in vaping.
Well, that's because
Unfortunately.
people go, there's only 200 available.
Yeah, I mean, my issue with
Did you join my
my
Facebook
issue
group,
with the
bro?
whole like 3D printed squonk mod thing was just that I never really cared for, even like the higher quality printed ones. I just never really cared for the feel of them. Like even the really nice ones always still felt like kind of cheap compared to like a milled Delrin one.
So that's going to be the next one. Is probably going to be a Delrin body. We're going to do
I like it.
get the costs down on it. What would you guys change about the Rage if you could? If there was a V2, not with desired designs, but if there was a V2 Rage, what would you change besides the chip and the board on it?
Try to move
If
the
you-
button, I'd say.
Move the button?
To a more like, because
What
naturally,
about to the front?
like maybe the front, but I'm thinking these bezels right here.
That's a fuck spot to get a button in.
Yeah, it'd be hard to get the button in, but that's where my thumb naturally sits, because it's like
Right there.
it just sits in there. And I know that one of my favorite feeling mods, I have the G class,
Okay.
the SX G class, and
Is that the big screen one with the button above?
yeah,
the screen?
I love the button in the middle. Like it just, I don't know what it is, but just having the button there, it feels so much better.
I have
I don't like the indent for this right here,
Uh-huh.
the logo, because it collects things and it's hard to get out.
It does collect things.
Yeah, their logo right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little dust collector. And I think I could shave some of that material down off the front as well.
Yeah, even just rounding it would be nice.
Yeah.
I actually, one of the things that I think has been kind of controversial, but I prefer it, is the weight of the mod. I really like the heft.
And
No,
the
that's
thing
what I was
is,
just thinking about though. Because if you switch it to Delrin, I think you would have to change a couple of things just because of how much lighter it would be.
I mean,
Yeah,
Delrin still has a pretty good heft to it, especially with it being a dual battery. Like,
Right,
it's going to be lighter, but I don't think it's going to feel less substantial.
well, I am already planning on putting like counterweights in the mod. Lower weights, like a plate in the bottom that's going to have some counterweight, because my concern is it being top heavy and knocking over. So it's not gonna feel as substantial as this, but it is going to have some weights added to it, some counterweights added in the mod. And that's kind of where Grim Green are at right now with the design, is to make it, feel kind of not cheap and plastic, in the same, but still not have it so heavy that when it drops, it's going to split where those weights are.
Yeah, what
that weak point in there.
What the fuck metal did you machine this out of? Because it's
This is zinc. This is cast. Yeah, zinc.
oh
Yeah,
okay,
this
cast
fucking
zinc.
thing's a tank, dude. I tried to go aluminum. Aluminum for me was a 40% cost increase. Our cost on the mod.
No,
And try to get a Chinese guy to say aluminum.
Yeah,
I know. Aluminum.
That would take so many steps to machine aluminum for that shape.
Yeah, they would have to.
work that out.
They would cast it.
Yeah.
But still, it's so fucking expensive, man.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. So I know we can go get the mod competitively priced, like close to Tony B's pricing, if we went
Really?
Delrin, and then that opens me up to doing a 21-700 version, like doing the 18-650 to 21-700, because it's going to be whatever, it's going to be just a little bit taller than it is now.
Oh,
but it's not going to have that added weight.
That would be awesome, because I've been going back to mech mods ever since those Samsung 30Ts came out.
Yeah.
And it's just so much more pleasant to deal with the battery life on those.
And USB-C.
USB-C on it?
Yeah, but just because it's becoming because it's a technology standard. It's going to a technology standard. I feel like it will be appreciated.
Yeah, you're probably right. Actually, you're probably right.
Because people will no longer have to carry around like a separate charger for their mod and their phone. Like if they're charging their phone in their car using USB-C, they'd have to get like an adapter for the Mini, or they'd have to get a different charger to charge their mod while they're driving.
Still think that might be more expensive. Yeah, but that might be more expensive cost. Not much. Well, no, just because I mean, like, I'm still pissed off because I think USB-C should be a standard, but when it comes down to it, really the only thing that still uses it is my phone.
It would be more cost than you think, because they have to fit the USB-C onto the chip, which would be more R&D.
But
it's just like right now, my phone will use it and my laptop will use it, but everything doesn't use it yet.
That's another thing. That's another thing that I really appreciated about the G class, was that it has a USB-C charger.
Is the USB integral on that chipset, or is it like the DNA to where it's a separate piece that's attached?
No, this one's integral. It's attached to the board. Yeah, it's attached to the chipset.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Also, just like an interest factor, I think some Delrin beauty rings that came with it would be pretty awesome.
You did not unironically suggest beauty rings.
I did.
Jesus, man.
He's been using that B2K too much.
Yeah, I love those. I love those beauty rigs.
So I actually like the heft on this, but it's kind of because it's a big enough mod that it's never going in a pocket. So I like the fact that it's substantial.
You don't pocket it?
I still pocket it,
dude.
Yeah, I pocket it.
Apparently, I'm just wearing skinny jeans or something, man. Like,
no, if I'm out and about, I only carry this. I only use my big mods at home now. Just because I don't like having to, like,
carry your
because I wear like slim jeans because I weigh like $130. I look fucked in baggy jeans.
So like the benefits of having a purse.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't know.
Throw it in my purse. As long as I remember to power it off first, we're good.
Button on the front.
I leave it in my car anyway, usually.
I don't know if is button on the front even possible? With the bottle being there?
Well, we're going to redesign the bottle system. So the bottle system is going to go to, like what I was talking about, that Lost Vape style.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no more inner O-ring on it. It's just going to be like a press plate fit that's got like an O-ring seal on the press plate. And it's just going to come together, basically the top of the bottle and the plate coming together with the stem, and then a ring that seals it together. So that's going to open me up for... that's going to give me like a hollow point right here where just a little bit above where that V is, or the D is.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Yeah, I could see that being more comfortable.
Do that.
That's going to be almost like the Hellfire, bottle carrier system, the way it connects like that.
And then if you still need the branding, you'd be able to put like a slightly embossed Rage. Not as deep as this, of course, but you could use this faceplate for like the branding.
Yeah, or you could just round it as well. It does as long as it's not sharp inlets. You're fine.
Yeah, no, it'll be a little more curved to it, and definitely no. I was against a logo on the front, but that's Desire.
You got to brand stuff. I'm
Yeah.
just glad.
Putting that on there.
I'm just glad that you put. I'm just glad that you put out a dual battery squonker because and a good one because there just hasn't been many things filling that part of the market.
Yeah, basically G-Box or nothing. Now Dean's got his.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Bazium.
I want a dual-headed mod.
That was another thing that I wanted to ask you about. Like, did you decide on dual battery because you saw the hole in the market?
Yeah, there was literally nothing out there.
Right.
And like I was Tony B is the one that got me into squonking a while ago, and like you know, I was buying these stupid $250 squonk mods, single 18650s, and then it brought back like the whole thing where, you know, I have to go back to building how I like to vape, you know, and battery life was just absolutely horrible for me. So I just wound up not using it because it fucking had to build for the thing. Then I had to carry extra batteries for it. And it was just so much of a hassle at the time that I just decided to pull the trigger. Like Grim and I started designing a squonk box way before we did the Rage. So this has been in the works for, God, probably 18 to 20 months, close to that. And then him and I had everything. We designed it. We had it 3D printed. We had a 3D printed prototype, and we started to go to a couple different manufacturers. And then the pricing that we got back on it would have made it a fucking $160 to $180 mod.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I realized, like, we're not going to get this done on our own, like we've been doing with all of our RDAs and all that other stuff. And my China distributor is the one that introduced me to Desire, and he'd been working with Desire for a while, even before they were Desire Designs. And so he knew I was seeking pricing, and he knew the struggles I was going through trying to get decent price. And he said, you know, let me introduce you to these guys. They're good people, and see if you guys can work out a deal. And I didn't want to give them my design, Grim Green and I's design, so I had to change the design for the Rage. But yeah, so that's how basically I had to suck it up and go, okay, it's got to be a collaboration if this thing's ever going to happen. Otherwise, you know the value of your product,
Mm-hmm.
and you know when you're over the mark, and we don't want to release something and have people be like, oh, you guys are trying to do a cash grab or something like that. Like we just went through that with the next project that we got, the Goat, which we've been keeping that one kind of under the wraps. But the Goat is basically a squonk dripper, right? It's a squonk dripper, but it takes coil heads. It takes dual coil head coils that you just screw in and screw out. They come pre-wicked from the factory, pre-built with anarchist wire, so you don't have to worry about any of that weird China wire, you know, being in there. We control the wire.
You supplied them with the wire?
Yeah, we supplied them with all the wire on it. And so that project, we knew, like, so we got to be competitive with the tanks, right? So because that's who we're going after. We're going to go after like the guys that use tanks, that don't want to build coils, that don't want to get into dripping, because you know, it's quite a bit of a hassle for if you don't know anything about this stuff. And just think about when you're beginning,
it's intimidating.
It's super intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
And so our whole it is, and nobody's done it right. And
I still don't want to build.
Yeah, see, like, and then you could try dripping and see if it's for you, or even squonking. Like, you're probably tired of having leaky coil heads and going through, and you know, 1 out of every 3 coil head that you get, you know, takes a shit on you. And here you go, you can go get yourself a little Pulse 80 watt for $50, and then we knew.
I picked up this one not too long ago.
What is that thing?
Dot mod.
Yeah,
the dot mod RDTA.
Yeah, which you can. It has a squonk pin for it, so I can sit there and I can
refill it up.
Yeah.
How do you like it? I heard it was really garbage.
I actually like it.
Mixed.
I like it, but I mean, you gotta, just like with any, you gotta find like the right temp for you, or the right wattage.
The right build.
Yeah.
The right build, so it doesn't leak and all that stuff. So needless to say, on the Goat, we in order to get our pricing competitive, we had to go like all in on it. So we had to just commit to a ridiculously huge order on it out the gate and buy a shitload to get like the pricing down to where we could be competitive. We could be like, so the target price for it is going to be $36.
Nice.
And that comes with the two,
Nice.
you get 2 coil heads. So you get the 24 gauge coil head and you get the 22 gauge coil head. So you can see which one you like the best when you buy replacements. And then you get, you know, the deck, the base, the top cap, AFC, 810 goon style drip tip, spare O-rings, all that stuff inside the box. And then the replacement coil heads are going to be 2 packs for $12, and those will be sold, you know, either 22 gauge or 24 gauge coil heads. And in order for us to get that pricing, and like the margins that we put on this are like ridiculously low, like stupid low. The amount of money that we're investing in this for the return is it's almost to the point where it's become such an obsession for us to do this project and release it, that it's no longer, the business side of it is no longer business. It's more like, okay, we're gonna do this and we're gonna hold, you know, like $1 a unit on it, which for hardware and stuff like that, that's fucking really shitty margins to make. But we think, like, we believe in it, and I believe that it's going to do a lot for the industry, and it's going to open up a gap, a void that's not there. So at this point, we're like, God, fuck it. All right, we're just going to fucking do it anyways. Hopefully we could get our costs to drop a little bit. And like, I'm negotiating with the manufacturer, like pennies matter to me, like right now. Like I am just trying to knock them down like everywhere I can. And so we're actually doing one last revision on it because the factory got me. And the coil head, the way the coil head works is you have the 510 threads on it to where it screws in. And then you have kind of like the like the District 5, right? The cake. You know how the cake has the 2 plates and the insulator in the middle? Right. So the coil head is in essence, you know, a system like that. And so what they did was on the bottom negative plate and then the threads, they made those 2 separate pieces to save time on manufacturing. And so what's happening is the 510 thread is just touching that plate, and it's just a little lip that's touching, and it's creating grounding issues. So the actual coil head, when you chain vape, it gets hot. It's not the coils aren't making it hot. It's the coil head making it hot. And so they value engineered that on their own without our consent. And so we got in our latest prototypes and we're testing them. And I messaged Nick and I'm like, this fucking thing does it get warm? Like you hit it like 4 good times and then it starts to get warm. I don't remember it ever getting warm on me. And he goes, yeah, man, it's fucking weird. It's getting, did they change the specs on it? The specs look the same. And so I go into my little workshop and I just start tearing this fucking thing apart. And I open it up and I'm like, fucking, I found it. I found what they did to us, bro. They fucking took this. I know it's more expensive for them to machine it, you know, and do one piece rather than, 2 separate pieces. And I was like, we found out what happened. So
good you found it now.
That has to be super frustrating though, to put that much work in and then have something change that impacts performance.
Imagine after though, people had it already.
Yeah. Oh, I know, dude. I can only imagine. Yeah, this is your introduction. Like, I'm telling you, like, fucking throw that tank away and come to the dripping side, you guys, and try this out. Here's our new product, and their first introduction to dripping and their whole perspective on all drippers now is these fucking things get hot. Yeah, these fucking things get really fucking hot in your mouth, or God knows it
burns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're taking on a responsibility. People's first experience dripping, so you want it to be right.
And we're taking it dead fucking serious. Everything, dude. Fucking Nick's been a pain in the ass. Everything on this fucking thing, dude. To the conical angle, the angle of the conical, the airflow, the elevation, the size, fucking everything on it, dude. We've been tweaking out on this thing, dude, for so fucking long, and I think the factory's about fed up with us. I think
Well,
You
it's
really
your guys' name. You know, you
not
can
just
always
that,
feel it
but
with your product.
you really have to put that level of research and care into stuff nowadays, because with how many products are on the market and how many new products are getting introduced all the time, people don't give you a second chance anymore.
No.
You know, a couple years ago, you know, if you put out a product that had some issues, people would be willing to grab the V2 when you corrected it. But now they're like, well, I'll just get something. There's something else coming out, you know, 2 days from now. So, you know, any kind of hardware thing needs to be as close to perfect as possible to go on the market if you want to have a real chance with it.
Yeah.
How worried are you about tiny profit margins when, as soon as you put it out, Vandy Vape's going to come out with one?
I see. Here's the thing, dude, is these fuckers can't get my wire. That's my whole like, dude, I'm banking so hard on just the fact that we're using fucking US wire in this thing, and it's not China wire. And I just, dude, I just hope the manufacturer that makes, because it's a separate manufacturer. What's that?
What kind of wire did you say that was?
Anarchist. It's all anarchist wire in it. Yeah. I'll sell you some. Yeah. I mean, that shit's fucking stupid expensive. Like, we already had shitty margins, and then the coil heads they were giving us were horrible. And so, you know, we sent them a spool of wire and we said, hey, make the coil heads with this. And then it's just like, dude, the coils are so violent and poppy and
super low.
Fuck, dude, they're so good, dude. It's such a huge difference than using their Canthal or their shitty nichrome that they have over there. Like, there's
great move control.
Where they have a shit ton of iron in it. Ugh.
Oh yeah, bro, dude, you taste it. I hadn't vape Canthal since they sent me those first prototype coil heads, and I was like, nope, this tastes like shit. I'm not doing this.
I thought I hated nichrome for a very long time. Until I had a friend make me some coils,
It's hard to build with nichrome.
Oh man,
nickel's hard to build with. Nichrome is like a malleability like Canthal.
Nichrome for mech stuff.
Not nichrome, Canthal. I mean,
Canthal's easy as fuck to build with.
The nichrome I tried was just shitty, I guess. But I definitely tasted metal. So
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't taste metal. You shouldn't be tasting anything in it.
Now I got Stagger Fraggletons or whatever that my friend makes me that are awesome. Yeah, Fraggle Rocks. I got everything, dude.
Canthal and nichrome are the two easiest to work with, and then probably titanium after nichrome.
Stainless is easier than Canthal.
I don't think stainless is easier than Canthal personally.
You've got to torch it. Just torch it first, and it's perfect.
Don't blow yourself up though.
But titanium and fucking nickel are a pain in the ass because titanium's super springy.
Yeah, it lets off cancer.
Titanium sucks.
Yeah, and nickel was just.
Nickel was a passing fad. That shit's dead.
Well, no, that was just it wasn't. It was a fad. That was the only way that they could figure out how to make temperature control work when the DNA 40 first came out. Nobody realized that you could do the. Not that they realized, but they weren't able to get like the the temperature coefficients worked out for other types of wire when they wanted to drop the DNA 40. So nickel was the easiest one to do it with.
And it had like such low resistance that you had to build a coil with 30 gauge fucking 18 wraps to get a 0.3 coil.
Yeah, but when they started having temperature coefficients for stainless steel, like that totally changed the temperature control side of vaping. Because before I could start using stainless and titanium, like I did not care for temp control at all now. And now, like, since I can use stainless, like that's the only thing I use for temp control. Like pretty much all my regulated mods are in temp mode at this point.
Have gotten a lot better too, though.
I'm just a straight wattage guy.
I still like knife thaw.
You're the only one I've ever known to use that. I want to try it. Where do you get it? Kitty Puncher?
Yeah, that's the only place I can get it domestically, and it's as responsive as nickel, but you can actually kind of build with it. But I've started using a lot more stainless because I'm lazy about making specific orders for my wire.
Rick uses 40 wrap knife thaw.
Hey.
I just love how it goes up in wraps every time we talk about it.
Yeah, fucking 89 wrap, 3.5 millimeter.
Oh, you're using
70 coils.
You're using the Mason 45.
I tried a 4 millimeter coil in the recurve, and it's astronomically better.
Oh yeah.
I think I have. I wish I remember the dude's name. Ramo Coils or something. Too Tall sent me some coils, and like I actually have like a big fat fucking coil in the recurve, and it's working out okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
Just the 2.5 and the 3 millimeter weren't working nearly as well.
Is chromium by itself dangerous to vape with?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, extremely.
Shit.
Yeah.
The thing that saves you, this thing that saves you with like a nickel chromium wire is like when you pulse it and you work out the hot spots, it oxidizes, so it creates a protective cocoon from any type of nickel or anything else leaching out. And that was the big concern with guys using nickel, was it doesn't oxidize, so the nickel potentially can leach out into the cotton, and therefore you can consume the nickel. And so that's the whole like and most people do have an allergic reaction to nickel. Like even I'm allergic to nickel. Yeah, I get it right here. I get it in my glands. Right. I can tell if I've been vaping too much. And it varies. Some people get blisters. Some people get rashes.
Yeah, Mr. Burgundy in the chat, he said
the
that
same thing in my lymph nodes right here.
He said,
me too, bro. Yep, I
he
get
said
it
that
too. That's AIDS.
He'd been vaping.
AIDS.
He'd been vaping nichrome for like a year before he realized.
No, I mean
he was
I get
allergic.
it. I get it. Even vaping stainless steel, but I'm assuming it's because there's nickel content in it.
Huh.
Your mic okay?
I don't know. I thought it wasn't.
But yeah, it was
over.
Pretty scary at first, dude. I had to go through a bunch of tests at first because they didn't know what it was. My lymph nodes were
really?
large. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, when you were sick, that was why?
No, I literally went to see an oncologist.
Yeah,
it's pretty scary.
And that was the actual cause, you think?
Yeah, that was scary, and we gave you no sympathy whatsoever, right?
No, it was fucking scary. Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of rooting for the cancer.
I asked for all of his Derringer clones when he dies. I was like,
dude, I didn't even want anything. I just wanted you to be okay.
The Derringer. Is the Derringer the most cloned atomizer of all time?
Yes.
Probably
It's
that or
definitely up there.
Velocity.
Maybe the velocity. Yeah, the velocity.
Oh.
Or Kennedy. Maybe Kennedy.
What about a Velocity Derringer?
You know what, Skittles? I would leave you my prized Filipino Mose RDA, which I love dearly.
Oh man, I was hoping you were gonna say GIMP.
No.
Yeah.
I'm in the market for a new GIMP. Mine grew out of it.
I would like. What if you had a GIMP that filled your squonk bottle? If that was your new feature,
Just
out of the closet every time you want to squonk?
Are you? Oh, Dwayne, are you gonna do 2 bottles that come with it, or are you just doing one again?
You can have 2 bottles and a GIMP. What the fuck?
Just depends on the cost on it, the cost to manufacture. Like those bottles cost us, the ones for the Rages are just under $5 to manufacture. So it comes down to like what's the target price point we're going to go for, and then sticking to that, and just sticking to our build budget, like how much money we have to make it happen. That's what it came down to on the Rage. If I would have done another bottle, then it would have been over $100, and that was the whole point of that mod, was to be under $100. But yeah, that's what it comes down to, dude. Is literally you're when you're at the end of the thing, you're pinching pennies, and you're like, okay, fucking, what else can we afford to do on this thing? What's our budget allow for? And most that gets blown in the chip. The chip's the most costly thing. Between that, the chip and the molds that you have to pay, those are your 2 most expensive components to it. So yeah, depending on how much I spend on a chip, it's going to be a better chipset than this one. That's for fucking sure.
I was just thinking about the RBF, man. The reviewer boner factor. Reviewers the reviewers get a boner every time something comes with 2 squonk bottles.
Yeah, fucking guys. I don't. It's,
but they seriously do. It's like a weird thing.
But that doesn't.
The weirdest shit though.
It doesn't like. It doesn't seem like it would be more convenient. Like to me, it doesn't seem more convenient to carry like an extra filled bottle with me.
Yeah, I know.
I'd rather just carry a refill bottle, especially now they have the caps for Chubby Gorilla bottles.
That's a good way to get
I
wet
like
pockets.
because I have to soak one. So while that one's soaking, I could use the other one.
Somebody,
Oh,
yeah,
no, that's
but I
why
mean,
I leave a couple. I just leave them at home, but I still have a couple. If I have to soak one, I'll still have an extra
I mean, how
one,
fast do you need to
but
be?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Jerry.
Yeah, just road
I
trips.
still leave them all at home.
Right, but you still have a.
Yeah, I don't take an extra bottle with me.
I mean,
I only do on road trips. That's it.
I got
Yeah.
to a point a couple years ago where my hardware collection just got like so out of hand that I realized I did not need to have that many mods with builds and juice in them in rotation all the time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like when I, when I'll vape on, like I'm using the Gloom this week. So I'll vape on the Gloom like all this week, finish the liquid that I have in the refill bottle, and then I'll tear it down, clean it, and pick something else up to be my freebase device for the next week or two. Because I just got too much shit and I wasn't using it, like on a regular basis. I had
our Facebook group guy.
I mean, I had, I totally have stepped away from high end now at this point. It's been like months since I even went into any of the groups that I'm members of.
He talked about how much better life is now that he's not on Facebook anymore.
Dude, I haven't bought a single piece of like vape gear outside of pod stuff since I got off Facebook.
We're about to buy another 370Z with all the money you saved.
Yeah, I hope so. I had one unicorn left to get, and then when I finally got it, I was like, I'm done, and I just stopped looking, so I didn't find another unicorn for me to have to chase.
No, I still have one. I really want the Jazz RDA, just because I love the Soul S so much, but it's just way too expensive.
I want the Meteor, that Meteor mod.
Are you in the?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't sell it anymore, Jerry.
Oh, okay.
Are you in the?
Anyway.
Shindo, are you in the Van and Del group? Oh, I'll add you into it. Okay. They do jazz drops on the regular, or they used to at least.
I wanted a 17.
As soon as I get that mango sticky rice money, man, I'm gonna buy one.
Were you ever into like the whole high end scene of Stabwood and all that stuff?
No, I was always buy the clone of the really expensive thing, and then buy 15 different ones and see which one I like the most, and then buy that one.
Dwayne, did you used to fuck with high end?
No, I never got sucked into that shit. Thank God.
Yes,
a bunch of money. I got enough shit on my shelf that's not high end, dude. God,
I need my money for video poker.
Yeah. Also, there aren't a lot of high end addies that tailor to the way you like to vape. So.
Yeah, you know what Addy really surprised me? That's not many people know about. You guys probably know about it, but that Wasp Nano.
Oh yeah, the Ohmboy Wasp.
Yeah, dude, you gotta put a big. That's where a big beefy coil comes into play. If you got somebody that can make you like a staggered fuse Clapton or a staple helix, that space it out in that Wasp Nano is fucking amazing.
Well, it's the Hadley. It's a Hadley clone where they were like, well, let's not try to ride the coattails of Hadley. Let's just name it something else. And the Hadley prospers with a big fat single coil in it.
I liked it enough to get the polycarbonate cap after I got the Ultim cap.
Yeah,
that was my only, like, the performance of the Wasp was outstanding for the price point, but the cap looks so goofy.
Yeah, dude, you got to get past that whole one piece fucking monstrosity.
If it actually had like a hard lip at the top and then the drip tip came up, like that would be one thing, because that's how like all the new, I mean, like the high end like bell caps and stuff are like that, to where they have like a hard lip but having it like with like the swoop like that, it was not a good look on it.
Having a big beefy coil in it. Did yours whistle at all, Dwayne, or did you eliminate that? Okay,
yeah,
I had a problem with whistling.
Did you? Yeah, it could be your coil placement. Could be your coil placement, elevation in it.
Biggest sleeper of the year so far for cheap Addy like that is
Dead Rabbit.
Anybody tried the Ghoul?
No,
I haven't.
I'm telling you, it's the what was the Addy that you guys were looking at in the mix tonight? The Marquee. It's the Marquee redone. But with no, I mean it's got stupid branding on it, but I'm telling you right now, dude.
No, vertical coils are not.
No, it's not a vertical coil. It's a single coil. The Ghoul?
Yeah, vertical drippers are not really a thing.
Yeah, no, this isn't a vertical.
I don't see
at all.
I don't see a
it's
post
the Blitz,
for it.
Blitz
yeah, the Blitz Ghoul 22 millimeter bottom feeder RDA.
Yeah, it's dope. Yep. It just looks like the Marquee, the way that you put the single coil in right there. I'm telling you right now, for sure. You know, I get all those Addies, all those like cheap. It's like $21, and it's It rivals.
I
anything.
don't see how this isn't how is this? How does it relate to the marquee if it's not a Verco coil?
It's just the way it looks, right? Like, doesn't it have that like where it goes up against the side with the single coil?
No, that was
never put a vertical coil.
what was that? The M Addy that had like the notch in it that you built the coil onto. It was like half a deck. What was
Maybe
that
it wasn't the
atomizer?
marquee.
No,
maybe it was
the M Addy's a 3-post,
What was that high end Addy that?
which is completely ridiculous that a 3-post atomizer is still going for like upwards of $1,000 in secondary markets nowadays.
Yeah.
This one was the closest one I've had that almost hit the jackpot. Was the
Hadeon?
the new Reload RDA, Reload X. So good, but it's just so fucking loud. Listen to
Oh
this
yeah,
shit.
that one's like the.
And it does the same thing the Mose does, where it goes in the side up top and then goes down and under your coils, and it vapes a lot like a Kennedy, which is pretty awesome.
That's like a deja vu.
But it's leak proof. But at the same time, that fucking sound.
Yeah, noisy
Yeah,
Addies.
sound
Man.
like it. That's all. Still look like one.
I always get irritated too when, like, in previously when it was just regular like side airflow, before the whole squonking thing, if they were super loud or whistly with side airflow, because it's not that hard to just chamfer that edge to be able to make the air move easier and just completely eliminate the issue.
Yeah, if they spent like literally an extra month on R&D and just fixed the sound,
I mean,
no accountability.
Oh yeah, you're getting that from those hard edges on it. I'm looking at it right now online. Oh
Yeah.
Jesus, that is horrible.
I mean,
God damn.
I've seen so many atomizers and mods when I look at it, and I'm like, obviously nobody that built this actually vaped it. Like nobody actually tried it out. They just took whatever they saw, made their version of it, and released it. And there's like so many obvious like safety or construction issues with it.
But the base design is fucking ace. I really like the base design.
But that's like the quality is always going to be better with something like your products, you and Grimm's products, because you guys put your face behind it, which I appreciate the shit out of.
Yeah.
You're not going to put your face on something you're not going to put your heart into.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I got Grim Green to deal with on top of it all.
Yeah, he
Probably
doesn't
working
want
with him.
he said he doesn't want. It's good. It's quality.
It is, yeah. It's at times it becomes excessive. Like some of the things that we do, you're really really rough at this fucking point. Really, we're just gonna fucking raise the airflow 1/4 of a millimeter, really, just to see what the fuck happens. Like, but we do that. I mean, we keep going and going and going, and then obviously the flavor will get a little better, then it starts to go downhill, and then we go back and we go, okay, this is where we like it, But we do that. We'll take steps when we make caps and have the caps, various different heights and widths. Right. And that way, you can test them all and you can see which one, has the best flavor out of all the caps. But yeah.
Are you guys like, let me give this one a hard suck and then let me give this one a light suck?
Oh, like that one fucking Scottish dude that designed an RDA, and everyone's like, "This sucks ass."
Yorn?
No, he was
perfect airflow. Shut the fuck up.
He was Scandinavian.
He said, "You just don't know how to vape. You're vaping wrong.
You're just not doing it perfectly like I am."
He sounds like me.
Another example of a vertical coil dripper.
Yep.
Like the 502.
Well, it was a single center one, because like the 502, you kind of put them around the center post. This one has the poster on the outside. There's like 3 posts on the outside, so you just do a vertical coil in the middle. It's just not a good setup. No adjustable air.
And then it had airflow up the side, the side instead of around it at one level. It had airflow at the bottom, middle, and top. So that top one wasn't even hitting the vertical coil. It was just going straight into the drip tip.
Right, dude.
And then he's like, you guys need to use ribbon wire.
The greatest part of that whole thing is he's just telling you, fuck off. You guys are wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
He came out and everyone was like, I don't like this. And he's like, well, you're just wrong. You're just doing it wrong. It has nothing to do with anything I did. You're wrong.
If you're gonna manufacture hardware, you have to be willing to take criticism.
And everyone was like, he's the expert on airflow. I'm like, yo, he made a homemade wind tunnel with cardboard and wire. Like
Reddit perfectionist. So
he really blew it with that fucking atomizer. He blew it. He
He was
completely
the
blew
king
it.
of ECR or whatever.
Dude,
Not
it
anymore.
was so weird. Like the fucking trailer
Thanks.
park engineering and trailer
Hey.
park science that went into that mod.
The
Dude, there's
Nord.
good, there's good shit
Well, I
comes
mean,
out of there.
there were a bunch of issues with that. Like he never even got a prototype before they started sending them out before they sent out the
Yeah.
reviewer models.
Because
Like
it was
he didn't even
perfect.
get one of those.
Yeah,
Which
the
is-
problem wasn't that though. The problem was that he told people it was good anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there were so many issues with that whole product and the release of it. Like it was a train wreck from start to finish.
All right.
It's 2018. It's the
That's
age of
what-
the
that's
internet.
what
You
that-
got to be transparent.
It
If
is-
There's one thing you got to learn. It's that.
It is 110 for 3 of us. 4 of us.
Not for me, fuckers.
5?
But you want to
Wait,
wrap it
the
up?
West Coast, you-
Shindo, are you Eastern too?
West Side.
I'm central actually.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
for
you're one
4
of
of us,
those
it's 1 a.m. The show's winding down.
People's just
Just
weird.
one last question it's just been nagging on me, just because I don't get as much exposure as he does, and it still makes me sour.
Yes.
Grim Green, how is he so nice all the time?
Oh,
I know.
How the fuck does he do it?
That's why I fuck with him so much, dude.
I don't
think-
understand it. How, like, what is he on Quaaludes? Is that like?
That's just Nick, dude. I think, he's just a Star Wars loving, fucking genuine, just nice dude. I think he's just so genuine, and that's it. He's transparent and he's genuine, and that's how he comes across.
Like, have you ever seen him like just get it out and torture a small animal? Like,
No, dude, and I try to bring it out of him. Dude, I've tested the limits of any friendship with that fucking man.
The tampon.
Jesus Christ, and he just laughs, dude. Even Kent. I can't make fun of twisted messes anymore.
Yeah.
Like Kent,
Yeah,
Kent's sensitive. Kent's a fucking
He didn't like it.
oh, Kent didn't like it, dude. I roasted Kent a couple times,
Oh,
and
no.
and Kent, I mean, I still think he's angry with me, and this was like 6 months ago.
Says he's not though.
Oh, I think he is. I think secretly, deep down inside, he's still mad at me.
It's cool, bro.
But yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool.
But-
No, I totally forgot about that, dude. It's cool. Whatever.
but Grim just doesn't have it in him.
Guy over here.
No, dude, Nick just laughs, bro. I think he just, I don't know, dude. He's a great friend, dude, because he just never gets fucking mad at you. Like I keep pushing the boundaries.
He's gonna snap one day, dude. He's gonna,
Oh, he
he's
asked.
gonna take it out on you.
I think at his wedding. So he asked me to be his best man at the wedding,
Mhm.
and so I'm writing a speech for the wedding.
Oh, shit.
So,
Oh God.
Once in a lifetime opportunity here.
oh,
no.
it's gonna turn like his girlfriend just asked me. She just said, "Please, just like you can roast him, but leave me out of it." And I was like,
Like,
"I
dear
would
God.
never bring you into what Nick and I have going on."
Oh, yeah. You're just an obstacle lady. You're
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
He's done
Well,
for up.
you were a fantastic guest. I really enjoyed the time we had with you. It was
Yeah, bro, you
super
guys
fun.
are hilarious.
It's not often that we have a world famous vape boy on,
Even in North Korea, baby.
even in North
They
Korea.
know me. They
Es-
know.
Yeah, they may not be eating food, but they're
especially
vaping.
in North Korea.
The lady.
Oh, shit. No, I
But-
appreciate you guys having me on, man. This
Yeah,
was
man.
fun, dude.
Thank you,
It's
brother.
definitely
Appreciate you
fun.
guys.
The viewers liked it too. We managed to maintain 20 pretty much throughout the entire show, which is 2.5
Fuck
hours.
yeah.
Big time.
Big time, yeah. I mean,
The live watching is
for maxing out at like 28 live because we do it late after another show that runs like 2 hours, so a lot of our viewers don't want to do another one. But
they check us out tomorrow and over the weekend.
yeah, it was a fun show. I think everybody had fun. Alicia was, she had fun watching.
She's
I'm
she's fine.
sorting flavors.
She's been putting those flavors away for 6
Sorting.
months.
She's actually just here for diversity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's here so when we say misogynist shit, people don't come after us.
That's 100%.
But
We had an unfortunate show once, and we had to.
Whoa.
yeah,
and
we had a real.
Joke about that.
No.
Happened.
We don't talk about what happened. It happened, but it didn't happen.
Let's just say we had to find a.
We had to find
German
a woman to come on and really temper us, make sure we don't cross that line again.
She
I
was
was
on that
on that show. That was the first one.
She
I
was on that show.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
man.
so glad that was before
Whoops.
my time.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, yeah, you're lucky.
What show was that? So I can go back and watch
Oh,
it.
it's
It's
scrubbed.
gone.
We
I'll send you
scrubbed
a
it
link, bro.
completely.
You're not gonna find it publicly.
We completely scrubbed it. It was. I looked back at that show and I went, I'm gonna lose my job.
30 seconds after it was over.
Let's just say we talked about the apocalypse and we were a little bit too realistic.
I don't know what you would do.
Brigade that you don't want to be a part of, and I was apparently given immunity to these brigades.
If you knew the world was gonna
All right.
end,
We're getting
would
too
you do?
close. No, we're getting too close to it.
Let's
We're not bringing
wrap
this
it
back up. We're
Let's wrap
done.
it up.
We will see you guys next week, August 16th. We're gonna be doing another show. It'll be the second to last one after In the Mix. And then we'll probably shift to an earlier time.
We're gonna broadcast live from the November convention too.
Yeah, I think we're thinking of doing 8:30 when In the Mix fully ends. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll talk about it in the coming weeks. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for enjoying the show. Thank you again, OhmboyOC, Mr. Dwayne, for coming on.
Bro.
It was a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Outro music, go.
Balls.
I was wondering where that was in the intro.
I literally only just started finally sorting through all the lists.
You need to get it together. Stop telling people what
Wait.
I know.
Wait.
See what's gonna happen. You see what you just fucking did to me?
Wait.
They wanted to send it to me, okay?
Wait. Grant.
I know, dude. I had to fucking listen. I got. Are we up here?
No.
Oh, okay.
Women are smart, and I totally respect them.
She's like, why?
We are off, right?